am Grant Gustin.
Hi, it's Candace Patton.
I'm Danielle.
I'm Tom Cavanaugh.
Hi, I'm Victor Garber.
Hi, this is Wentworth Miller.
Hi, I'm Javicia Leslie.
Hi, I'm Eric Wallace.
This is Sterling Gates.
Hi, I'm Mark Wade.
Hi, this is Greg Weissman.
You're listening to the Flash Podcast. You are listening to the Flash Podcast. It's awesome, awesome, awesome.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Flash Podcast. Your podcast for all related to CW's The Flash, starring Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, a.k.a. The Flash. I'm your host, Andy B, as always, and we're all here, and we're on camera for you guys. Toddy is here, Breeze is here, Lacy's here, Lacy and Toddy. Okay, this is confirmed. Toddy and Breeze, Lacy are
separate people.
They're two separate people.
I mean, unless one of us hired
like I should get a Zoom
background
because everybody
to portray
else.
the other one.
Sorry,
that
Lacy?
is true. One of us could be an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
A paid actor.
A paid actor.
A paid actor.
It's rough out there. SAG is about to
Tatiana.
strike too. They need to make some money.
Exactly.
It's a gig economy. People need jobs.
Well, this one is not beautiful, but the three of them are. So
that's so sweet. But we are all beautiful in our own ways. Make your own kind of music.
Thanks, Christina Aguilera. sing your own special song.
Ladies and gentlemen, the night is here. I was convinced Andy was talking to himself for 9 years.
He is a talented,
voice
ventriloquist.
Actor, yeah.
He just impressionist, I guess. Makes all kinds of voices.
Yeah, I always it's always just so fun switching from like my lazy voice to my Breeze voice to my Toddy voice. It's I can definitely do Toddy's laugh when she's like really really like excited, but otherwise I have no skills, I have no talent. How is it to everyone in the chat? Hello, thank you so much for tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. I know this is going to be I think this could be a very special discussion. How's everyone feeling tonight? How is everyone?
Great. I
mean,
just
maybe
learned.
I turned in everything, so I'm free.
I love that for you. Oh, wonderful. And I just learned that I may be able to attend the Taylor Swift concert after all. So I'm extra excited.
I'm so jealous.
Why do you need like Barry Allen? He could just like speed you in past security.
Right? I could go to where'd be like the coolest Taylor show to go to? Like, I don't know.
This is the map. This
Paris.
Are you taking this guy with you to the concert, Toddy?
How are you doing, Tatiana?
I am doing great.
You know what? He's a huge Taylor Swift fan that I know of, so we're definitely going together.
I still love how you guys were just a Swift.
Swifty.
Yeah, maybe John Henry Irons. That's what he needs. He needs some music, some Taylor Swift in his life because y'all things are getting dark over to Maloa this season.
Oh, is he suffering? Is my man suffering?
That too.
I think everybody's suffering.
Are you caught up, Lacy?
I am not caught up because part of me is like, I don't even want to get to this stupid cliffhanger if they don't renew it. So I just,
way to go, Todd.
I'm hedging my bets. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, this is what I don't understand. What was the point of telling advertisers at upfront of, hey, we haven't decided to renew the show yet, but just to the record, we are doing a cliffhanger at the end of season 3. That's why I was like, why would you say that? When all of us are. I love the fact that no one in the press who was talking to what's his new guy's name? I think Brad Schwartz or something. And nobody was like, is it really the best idea right now to do a cliffhanger when you all don't even know if you're bringing back shows?
Well, I blame this on the showrunner because they saw what happened with Legends. They did the same gamble. They knew they might not be coming back and still did a cliffhanger. Like, if you know your network is like it's literally a bloodbath, like why would you be like, let's do cliffhanger? Like, no.
Tyler,
Like, I think they've proven they are not going to be like bullied into giving you another season because you didn't have an ending, because they're basically like F off.
Yeah. And that never works.
This is your ex-husband we're talking about, Todd Helbig. Does this seem on point for him? Like, does this seem on
brand?
On brand?
I don't know. I've never actually seen him end a show, so.
See, Tatiana would never. That's why.
That's why we divorced.
When was the last? Oh,
no, I did call him drunk a few times. Like, come back. I'm so sorry.
I can fix
the cliffhanger is to win you back, Tatiana.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not averse to that one. That one would be fun.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I just. And I watched this week's episode, and I'm like, you know what? It's good, but I hate the fact that they're just. Again, we're 4 episodes away. We still don't know, and the fact is that now I know. Oh, great! I won't get a conclusion if this is canceled. It's like it's unnecessary. Yeah, Electra, you're completely right. Look at what happened in the season 3 finale of Lucifer. Big cliffhanger. Then it was canceled, saved by Netflix, but still, yeah, and that was just crazy because I remember like the writers like tweeted out like, guys, we're so sorry when they heard they were canceled. But I'm just like, but if you knew you were in the bubble, why would you?
I think that I really do think a lot of shows do it because for some insane reason, because this literally never works. They think that it'll help them being like, look, we've already got stories set up for next time, whatever. And it never works. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I think cliffhangers should just be removed altogether. I mean, like, I don't know if anyone here watches Ginny in Georgia, but like, Ty, yeah.
No, I've literally seen 1 episode, but it's my plan. My plan is to watch it.
You would love. I think you would love the show. But that show ended on a cliffhanger, and then it went like 5 or 6 months before Netflix renewed it for season 3 and 4. And I'm like, luckily I was, I caught the show like, just a few, like a few months ago, like, but for people who are in the fandom, like that must have been a nightmare having to wait 5 months. Because they didn't really end on a huge cliffhanger. So I just ridiculous the TV culture we live here today. Now I'm praying for Lacy that season 4 of Nancy Drew doesn't end with any cliffhangers.
I don't think it will, because I actually think they sort of knew it was coming. Like, I think they've said in interviews, and their writing staff is awesome. I think they've said in interviews that it will have an ending. So
yes,
all I need in my life is for Nancy and Ace to get together. That is it. That is
well, Nancy Drew has a female showrunner, right? So
yes,
that's why they actually have their shit together.
Yeah, I mean, Lucifer. I mean, Legends Tomorrow did also have.
I guess Legends did too.
No, Keto is awesome because also there's Phil Klemmer and Keto, so it's what. No gender can save us. Ace was like, hey, they want to flex their muscles and try to see if they can bully the network into getting another season. Which,
I don't know. Especially it's so weird to be the Superman and Lois thing, because just like read the room, dude. Like the CW is literally on fire.
Yeah, exactly. And next Wednesday, Nancy Drew takes over for the Flash. Lacy, that must feel fitting.
I mean, it's convenient for me. I don't think I've ever really gotten used. I don't really. For some reason, I still always think that the Flash is a Tuesday show. I've never really gotten used to it moving to Wednesdays.
Well, they did it. Yeah, they did it because Superman Lois needed. They needed a special slot for some reason. But yes, we're here to talk about the series finale of The Flash. And again, guys, as always, because I'm imagining we might have some new listeners today because it's the series finale. There will be spoilers if you haven't seen it. I'm not sure what you're doing here, but we appreciate your presence, and we're gonna. Yeah, but there's no more news segment for this TV show.
Because I'm not acknowledging the movie.
I mean, is there any news about the movie even? Oh yeah,
It's a Batman movie now. I don't know if you've seen like, the latest trailer.
Andy Muschietti decided to pull a Tom Holland. Oh, we have our own Tom Holland. Great. Yeah.
Andy Muschietti is pulling a Tom Holland?
He spoiled one of the big cameos.
Oh, okay, okay. I was what is that?
I'm kind of hoping that, like, I don't know if Joe has started doing interviews yet, but like, if Joe is talking to him, he'll be like, "Hey, Andy, do you know Tom Holland?" And that becomes like a clip on screen when it's like IG, the social media things that we do. But yeah, there are no news, so we're gonna jump right into it. Episode 13 of season 9, called A New World Part 4. And this was directed by Vanessa Paris, who did the season premiere, a wonderful job.
Oh, very cool.
And directed and written by Eric Wallace and Sam Chelson. I purposely not looked at the headlines for the 8.
There's no headlines and there's no.
There are no headlines yet because I don't actually.
Gonna wing it.
I don't. Yeah, it doesn't feel to me like there are
multiple storylines. Yeah.
I mean,
it would feel wrong to say Nora's birth is a C plot.
Yeah, I would say let's break it down by character, right? And
okay.
Nora's birth could be the same
idea.
Plot. A plot. Do you want to just say Barry versus Eddie? Eddie brings the bad guys.
I don't know. It's your final toddy cap, so you gotta make this a banger.
No, I have nothing. I can only say Eddie gets the band back together, right?
Here we go.
And so he goes to the negative speed force and he puts out a wanted poster. And that is where we get, Eobard Thawne, the Welsified version. So welcome back, Tom Cavanaugh. Snaps for Tom Cavanaugh.
And we get fresh.
Yeah, he is. Vacation did him good. Vacation in the negative speed force. And then we got Zoom. We got Savitar. Although it was like at first I was like, wow, what happened to you, Savitar? What's been going on? But anyway, and Godspeed, right? That's it. Those are the guys we got. Is that all correct? Okay. So at first they don't even believe that they're dead, right? They're like, we're just here raring to go, whatever. But Tom kind of takes over. I'm calling him Tom. Wells takes over.
Tomabard.
Eddie's trying to lead the parade, but no one gives him any respect. Least of all, Eobard Thawne, because Eddie is in fact his least favorite relative, and Eddie seems super chill with Eobard, insulting him to his face, and he's just "That's me. Thanks, great, whatever.
Thanks, Uncle Tom.
Nephew."
Yeah, you remind me. It's like the part in the "That's So Raven" intro when she's like, "Yep, that's me."
Yeah,
that's so Eddie.
Exactly, that's so Eddie. That's the whole episode. So, while they're planning their attack, Eddie decides that he's gonna go, one last time to give blue roses, which have never been explained. We still don't understand why we're getting blue roses.
Seriously, y'all.
To Iris
and
be one last. What'd you say? It's garbage?
I said it's garbage. The blue roses have nothing. They're just there.
Oh,
why?
I thought you meant this is a symbol of the 90s rock band Garbage. Who
that would have been amazing. That would have been
is there really a band?
It's a band called Garbage and it has a female singer.
And they're incredible.
They are incredible.
I feel like it's giving Tuxedo Mask vibes.
Yes!
And he's got the rose.
My job here is done. He gets her a blue rose. You come on, blue, get it? Anyway, so he's just one last time, right? He's like, hey, Iris, I'm super happy for you, but if you just wanted to pop this baby out and then dye its hair blonde and come back to me, that is totally doable. We can work with this. If not, I guess it's end of the world time. So now, obviously she's not going for that. So we are now going to have to gather the forces, right? So all of Team Flash except for the people that you really want, like Cisco and Wally, are back to fight
Bart.
Eobard and Bart, of course, to fight Eobard. And then Eddie, but really Eobard, he's like the real threat, let's be honest. And then Eddie is like, hey, I've also got my friends that I just met today. And so he pulls out his army, or his legion. I think that's what he said. I have a legion. So they come out. And
I
then
do think that legion means more than 4.
Right.
I'm just going to be like,
wait
if we're going to be technical about it.
Barry has more people than you do. So what do you mean? But I have a legion. So whatever. And then they all fight one-on-one or maybe 2-on-1 instead of doing the whole war thing where we all just run at each other. They're like, let's go to different locations and just pick each other off one by one. One of those locations is Jitters. Poor Jitters. It really just gets destroyed for the last time. And we may never see it build back up again. Who knows what happens this time? Who is funding the rebuilding of Jitters?
Sue.
I do not know. Sue. It's Sue.
Sue just
Sue
bought
comes
the
in.
franchise for the insurance money.
Sue is the savior of Central City when
Yeah,
it comes to its financial benefits.
Yes, and Stargazer is right. The Blue Roses are a symbol of Cobalt Blue / Eddie. We just don't know why. Where did he get the Blue Roses? Why did he decide on them? Other than they are blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
It's an aesthetic choice.
Exactly. Oh, there's mystery, secrecy, and pride. Well, he sure does have his pride. If nothing else, Eddie may not have his life, but he has his pride. So, whatever. We actually do get some cool fights from Keone, and we were kind of wrong, right? We were either her powers can be totally worthless and not do anything, or she's gonna literally be the Deus Ex Machina that solves everything. But instead, she just got a cool fight scene with cool powers. So yay.
That's the least Eric could do for Lacy.
Yeah. Cecile
Why
can fly.
couldn't Danielle? Why could not Danielle? What is her real name? Caitlin. Why couldn't Caitlin have had cool powers?
He said her real name.
Or Danielle, whatever.
Wait, you mean that when she came out of the cryo chamber, she was just Daniel Panabaker? She's like, what?
Exactly. Oh, I'm the third sister, Danielle, and I want to be an actress. Okay. So yeah. I mean, obviously, good wins. Evil does not. I love how the episode screeners was please do not reveal that good defeats evil. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
Literally,
we revealed
yeah.
it. You heard it here first. DNR.
Literally
Yeah.
a DNR. I was like, the good guys win.
I wanted to bring a little special gift to everyone by reading you guys what we were sent initially in the embargo email. But yeah, but Toddy, finish your Toddy
okay,
cap.
right. So good wins, right? Love wins. But love wins even more because when Eddie is going to overload himself with negative Speed Force powers, trying to defeat the Flash, and everyone else is like, well, just let him die. Hilarious. What a dumbass. He'll just die again. Barry is like, no, I must save my bestie Eddie. So he's like, Eddie, why don't we make a deal? And you just don't die. You're too sexy. Instead, you should just stay the Avatar.
That was working for him.
Exactly, it was.
Yeah.
It was. You should stay the Avatar of the negative Speed Force. That way, it doesn't pass on to someone even worse than you. And there's still balance in the Force or whatever. And Eddie's
Wait, is he one of Barry's children now?
Lacy.
Oh, he's a mother lover. He's a
Barry's
mother
your
lover.
daddy. Iris is your mommy.
Exactly. He's saying
I'm
a different
just
kind of
asking
mommy.
questions. I'm
He's-
just asking questions.
The questions that we need the answers to. They adopted him. It's all right. It's not incest. So then
No, that's on Riverdale.
Eddie is very, very easily convinced. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, fighting was really hard. It made me feel bad. I didn't like it. So instead, I will be the negative Speed Force Avatar and see you in the next season that does not exist. So goodbye, Eddie. Thank you for your service. And now it's time to make babies, or actually to give birth to the babies that we made. So who would like to discuss, should that be the B plot or something else the B plot? Doesn't matter. First, let's talk about our feelings.
I love again how Toddy was like, don't do this to me. I had nothing prepared, and we just went on like a fight.
A journey. It's a journey.
The most beautiful 5 minutes.
We don't know where we're going next. The destination doesn't matter.
As Ollie said, last Toddy cap. And Lisa
make Toddy recap other things.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you will. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! Like
Her
what was
K-caps are coming.
Her K-caps. They will be performed in Korean. Just kidding. I will not do that.
You can speak Korean?
I mean, I can speak 3 words of Korean. I can understand Korean. But then if you ask me to speak, I'll just say, where is the bathroom? Many times, because I know that.
You know what? That's one of the first things they teach you in Duolingo.
It's important. It's important. Okay. So...
toilette.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me just reveal.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Okay, sorry.
Here's some of the things that we would put on our do not reveal list. At least the one that Lacy and I
there
got.
Were definitely 2.
Well, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna read that.
Mm.
Do not reveal that Karn Oberoi returns to Godspeed.
But there was a photo of him. I was so confused. I got that.
This is the funnier one. Although I did get it explained to me why it was, but this was even funnier. Do not revealed Tom Cameron returns.
So why was that?
And Lacy was literally doing interviews with him last week, but do not reveal Tom Cameron returns.
Ken report he sounded rested, refreshed. Him and Grant were going to a baseball game. He's good.
Oh, that's so cute.
They hang out a lot, apparently.
I love that for them.
I wish I could hang out with Grant, but whatever. I'm kidding. The good guys defeat the bad guys.
Groundbreaking.
Caitlyn returns.
Okay, that's a good one though. That's shocked.
A good one. That was I'm shocked. This is shocking. We need that clip of Camila Mendes just saying that. Let me see what else. Anything in Act 6. Anything in Act 6. I'm like, okay, good. It was hard.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what Act 6 is. So
I was gonna say they didn't say.
I won't know the ending. The last commercial break, but like I was paying attention to when the fake commercial break was. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we had, but this is funny. We had 15 notes on the usually like Lacy and I, we will have like at least like 3-5 things we're not allowed to talk about. This was 15 topics. I'm like, y'all.
They were like, don't reveal that there is an episode. Let them be in suspense.
Do not reveal that the
finale will air. Yeah, exactly.
You're not revealed that this show is over.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a secret final season. So, who would like to speak first about their feelings on the showdown of the century, on the decade-long culmination of villains versus Team Flash members that we love?
I feel like I will forget things, so I'm gonna go first. And
Do it.
Then everyone can talk, and then I'll remember when I forgot.
Go for it.
But I actually didn't hate it, even though like initially my first thought was like, oh, this is literally like the C team. Like it just looks so goofy with the Flash standing next to like the most random like characters you could imagine, except for Nora. Especially like since we've had him like do like the J like Nora, Bart, like Iris with her powers back like lineup. It just looks so goofy. But I actually thought the individual fights, except for the Cecile one, which I'm not even going to talk about because whoever said it last week that she was going to fly cursed us. Except for that one.
I'm sorry.
I knew about that too, and I was like, I can't crush your dreams.
So except for that one,
I thought like, I'm not going to say anything.
I thought they were okay. I liked seeing Keelan power up. Like, you know, I would like to think that her taking down Zoom is justice for Caitlyn's horrible love life throughout the show. I like seeing I thought like I mean I don't really care about Chester and Allegra showing down with Ebard, but like Tom is so good. Like I was like, yes, be evil to them. Like I love watching this. And then who did Nora face off with? Savitar, and the way she like was stabbed but not stabbed and like stabbed him.
The Iris stab.
Yeah, like I thought that was such a good reversal. So I thought like even though like okay, this is the C team, like there were some good callbacks to earlier seasons that made it work. I did think Eddie's kind of like reversal at the end was way too rushed. Like he's just like so wishy-washy. He's like, oh, you're right, I don't want to be a bad guy anymore. And also like if he's the negative Speed Force avatar, but like the negative Speed Force was in his head, like so he's just like in control of the negative Speed Force now. Like what was that voice telling him what to do? Like it just goes away now. Doesn't make any sense. But I'm glad he like gets to live and not be erased again. So I'm happy with that. And of course, like I I mean, we're used to by now that like love always saves the day. Barry talks down all his villains, blah 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 blah. So I didn't hate it. I wish we had gotten this story a little earlier, because I think then we could have seen more Eddie as the negative Speed Force avatar throughout the series. But overall, I actually like didn't hate this being the final battle. Should have probably just been Barry and Ebard, yeah, but it was good. I liked it overall. So.
Problem is that they just did Barry and Eobard at the end of last season, so you can clearly see that they changed nothing when they found out that they were getting like that this was the last season and that it was shorter. They're like, no, we're gonna do it again anyway. But whatever.
But this was way better.
What?
Yeah, I was gonna say this was at least way better than Yoga sitting Barry defeating Eobard. So
I don't know. He just talked Eddie back to
side. But you know what? Like, you know what? I think you know what? For once, I'm not gonna go last. So I will give my thoughts. I'm sorry. I think I somehow manifested Cecile flying. It is my fault. I will come up with a phone app apology later today on Twitter, like any other YouTube influencer does. You all know it's true. That's all they do. Or their publicist writes an apology where they're like, "I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings."
I'm sorry that I feel that you're hurt.
This is my villain origin story. This is like, oh, Cecile. Yeah, I was like, okay, I get it. They clearly just wanted to make sure that they and Nikolai could also have fun last time, got to do some of the action stuff and so on. Because I'm like, when I see her like literally just like, like against all the Godspeed clones, I'm like, well, at least she didn't get Zoom or the other characters. I thought it was very fitting for Daniel Panabaker to get to take down Zoom because of the torture that Hunter put Caitlyn through in season 2. So I was like, you know what? I don't mind this. Mark was completely useless. And I'm glad he just he just needed Peter to look pretty. I didn't need him to do anything. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I thought it was sweet that Nora got to take down Savitar. You know, it would have been kind of cool. She was like, "This is for my mom." You know, like or kind of been like, you know, you thought you could go with my mother like that? Oh, you're wasted, dude. I don't know why Reverse Fight went after Chester specifically. I think it was just so that they could eventually reveal that he's chunk, quote unquote. That's
okay.
literally in the embargo. Chester
I
chunk.
know. Chester's a chunk. I was like, okay, thank you for that reveal.
What were you gonna say, Lacy?
I was just gonna say that I've like blocked out the whole part about like Chester being a magic black hole person or something because that was so stupid that I don't know. I can't even like explain to you what it is. It was so bad. And also just like, great. I guess he's fat too. Awesome.
Well, actually, in you've never seen what Chester looks like in the comics, do you?
No.
Okay, well,
we're gonna get a photo.
Yeah, we're gonna get a photo, but I will keep talking about how I felt because Cecile isn't here to tell us how I feel.
I just want to interrupt. I'm so sorry because Liv has a great point. Liv said if they wanted the team to fight, they should have lost and then let Barry have to finally defeat them on his own. I agree. That would have been fabulous.
I think I almost wonder if that would have been too VFX heavy, like even more so. Because you could tell that
Grant had COVID, right? Like
Grant did have COVID. I highly doubt though that they had to change anything for that reason. I just think that they didn't.
The only thing Teddy, the amazing Teddy Sears, who I talked to that 2 days ago, he said that he and Grant were supposed to have a scene where he was Savitar. Like we were supposed to see Savitar Barry with the meat.
I thought you meant where Teddy Sears was Savitar. I was like, that's so random. Why? But
no.
I wondered why we didn't like see his face at all. Savitar's face. That makes sense.
Yeah, but it was probably because of Grant having COVID. Yeah. So get ready, Lacy, because this is Chester Rung from the comics.
That
Chester P.
I thought
is-
that chunk was just a funny acronym, but this is kind of awkward. I don't like that.
I know this.
It
I
is
don't-
an
this is
acronym in
kinda
the show,
gross.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was just an acronym in the show.
This does not make me like that joke better.
When was this
Chuck-
character created? I'm trying to read this.
This was 1988, but in Flash Comics. So
That does
you
not
know.
make that joke better.
The 80s were still terrible. so.
For people who are listening
Yeah.
to this, Chunk is a friend of the Flash. He can access the Void, a pocket dimension that exists inside his body, and as well as threatening to consume him as well. Yeah, I think he definitely needs to be reimagined. He even fought the Flash
Who didn't though?
in the comics. I mean,
All of his friends fought him eventually.
and everyone who loved Wally West probably fought him too, because back in the Barry wasn't supposed to be alive. There's still I know there are people that are petty that he came back to life after Crisis, but yeah, but this is definitely this is what Allegra looks like in the comics. Lacy.
Well, I mean, that's
It just looks like a normal
Re-
woman.
like a
This looks like a woman.
Well, it
a
took it a minute
redhead.
to it took it a minute to load for me, and it was just blank. So I was like, "She's nothing."
She's invisible.
She's invisible, exactly.
Yeah, she just looks like a
Um,
person, like nothing on the level of Chester.
Yeah. As far as the Cabal Blue and Flash fight, I feel you could tell that Rick and Granite were having so much fun, finally getting to race against each other. That was funny because Rick, based on when I was talking to Rick, it made it sound like this was very new for him, but like a very new experience. But I'm like, he did this flawlessly. It looked like he was he knew exactly what he was doing. But I don't I don't mind the talk down because then we got action. And that's the thing, in the end, Barry Allen is a paragon of love. And again, at least it wasn't Care Bear stairs. Like Lacy was predicting.
I mean, there was a little Care Bear stare. Like the
Yeah,
only
'cause-
reason Eddie came back to the light was because Barry verbally hugged it out with him.
We should have had an actual hug.
Oh, I mean, did they not hug? Or
No,
was
they,
that? Oh, that was
they shook hands.
okay. A hand hug. They had a hand hug.
Okay, I do want to talk about Matt's comment real quick that we saw Barry spitting out blood. I did think that was weird because we never see blood on the show, and then all of a sudden he's
Family
spitting out
show,
blood.
right? Family show. I guess maybe they were like, okay, let's just get him a little bit of blood.
They're like, standards can't get us now. We're already canceled.
But no, I thought oh, kitty.
Hi, that's
How
Baker
did
Lee,
you
right?
feel
This
about
is-
the showdown?
This is Baker Lou. He's been in here meowing tremendously, so I think he has some thoughts.
Oh,
He's so 3. Cute. Hey,
Oh,
what did you
fluffy.
think of the finale? Are you just glad that Mom's not going to watch it anymore? Make you sit there and
Oh my
Say
god.
hi, Baker Lou. Say hi. You're probably just going to bite me because you want to get down, but that's okay.
No, he doesn't bite you, does he?
He's not a biter. He'll nip when he wants something. He's very spoiled. They're both very spoiled.
But
yeah,
that's
no,
true. Also, let him win and then talk some sense at him once and then. Don't just be like, "Hey, I have thoughts for you."
Well, technically, Eddie in his way almost won though, because he, they were about to destroy. I mean, again, there was a moment of self doubt there. I thought Toddy was frozen for a second.
No,
She
I was just.
oh, good
I
lord.
was stunned silent. I was stunned silent.
Toddy is.
to speak.
Yeah, no, but I am no, I didn't. Aside from the seal, I didn't mind the showdown. I'm glad everyone got something fun to do. Again, there was never any way they were able to work having Barry go up against 5 speeds at the same time. It was just. I'm just happy he got Cabal Blue. It was something new, different. them creating spears in the middle of nowhere was kind of fun. Also, apparently the sequence where like Barry falls on all those cars and runs into it falls into the big glass thing. They got one try for that. And I'm like, oh, thank God they didn't go the wrong way, because otherwise they would have to, I don't know. Um, I will tell people who are watching. I will tell people that when I was watching the screener, it was noticeable when Grant was being green screened in, and the only thing that it was really noticeable was when they're all like gathering together at the bridge. Um, like when Nora saves him, like that's when like they were not together. Um, but yeah, no, I was happy. I was happy with the action. Again, it's better than anything we got in the season 8 finale, because again, I just Tom Bard's black reverse flash shoot was just so ugly. And secondly, Barry defeating him by just sitting down and just channeling all the forces, and now I can do anything. Just that's you could only go up from there. But yeah, I didn't mind it. If Lacy, if you want to go next.
Me, I thought it was fine. I didn't really get I liked having all of the villains back. I really liked Eddie turning into the negative Speed Force. I thought Rick did a great job. He looked great. The outfit looked great. Like it all was working for me. But I don't know. I feel like in splitting up all of the villains, they didn't give any of the villains like enough time. Like, was Godspeed there? I guess. I don't. It felt a little anticlimactic when they turned it into like 7 different boss fights versus one big like battle for the end of it all or whatever. And I thought some of the pairings were really weird. I get why they had Keone go after Zoom, but just because she looks like Caitlyn does not mean that encounter carries the same emotional weight as if that had been Caitlyn instead of just a person who looks like Caitlyn. LOL to why Cecile is flying around. I don't know. What can't she do? Nothing. And I thought sending Tomabard after Chester and Alego was kind of weak sauce. Like, I mean, I guess part of it is to Breeze's point, like he's so good that he would have, like, he could have elevated, like maybe you send your best player to like the weakest link to like elevate it. But that didn't, like, why does he give a crap about Chester and Allegra? Just like kill them and keep it rolling. He doesn't, like, I don't know. That was weird.
I agree with that.
Like,
it should have been Zoom versus Jay Garrett's payback vlogging him in a cage in season 2 from Jay Casilli and the chat. Yeah.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah. There was very little Jay for, I thought he was in this going to be
like in it. Although I need a refresher. I should have looked it up, but I didn't because I'm incredibly lazy and I didn't need to know the information. Which Jay is this?
This is the present one.
So the one that is currently on Earth, New Earth.
Earth Prime? Yeah, this is the same Jay Garrick.
Okay.
Why was that confusing?
I don't, because I think I just forgot where, like, I think I lost track of the various Jays and what they were doing.
I mean, like, he said that he learned something from his Earth 90 doppelganger, and I was like, what Earth are you?
It's probably just like, it's probably something he learned off screen. It was kind of cool to hear Blake Neely's rendition of Danny Elfman's Flash score from the 90s.
And yes, it is Earth 3 that merged with Earth Prime. Yes,
exactly. Well, technically, he's Earth 2 now. This Jay comes from Earth 2 and then came to Earth Prime.
Wait, is this the Stargirl Jay? Are they the same Jay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To that one person who was like constantly attacking me because I didn't ask Jeff Johns about that. It is the same one. It is the same one.
Good to know.
But go on, Lazy. What you saying?
I mean, I thought it was fine as like a big kind of climactic showdown. It was fine. I don't necessarily love how rushed a lot of it felt. I feel like if you're gonna bring all those characters back and have them fight these other characters, it should take more than 10 minutes. Like the whole thing should not be over in 10 minutes. So I agree with everybody who was saying this should have been. The pacing of this 4-parter, and I know that some of it probably is because Grant got COVID and there were extenuating circumstances and stuff had to be shuffled around or whatever. But like the pacing of this like 4-part finale is just not great. And I think it could have been a lot better had they just made some better narrative decisions about what happens in what episode and what episode focuses on what.
Yeah, I mean, we will definitely like once we've had some space from the season, we should definitely like do like a deep dive into season 9, like just assess it completely. Which season 9 apparently comes to Netflix on June 1st, so that will be
Wow, it's quick.
Yeah, but it's because they have that Netflix deal that they
Yeah,
get
it
up.
used to be like that. Now it's not. But I guess this is a holdover.
Wait, some of the other CW shows, they're not getting up the same like after 9 days on Netflix?
Well, I don't even think any CW shows so Superman and Lois and Nancy Drew go to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Nancy
I think
Drew
maybe
is-
Riverdale. Where does Riverdale go? Anybody
I
know?
guess they're still Netflix.
Yeah. Well, there's All American Homecoming.
All American is definitely Netflix because Netflix just recommended it to me like today. So maybe there's a new season of that.
Yeah. Season 6 premieres this fall. One of the 2 only remaining CW shows. There's F-Boy Island after that. But yeah, we will definitely talk about the whole season as a whole once because I think definitely because I actually really want to rewatch all 4 parts for A New World. But yeah, sorry, Lace, I keep interrupting you. What were you saying? You're muted. Oh, and she's gone.
She was tired of being interrupted.
Tatiana,
Reclaiming my time.
And Toddy merged with her.
Exactly.
Is that your Wonder Woman shirt, by the way?
No, but let's say it is. Yes, it is a Wonder Woman shirt.
Are you wearing a Captain Marvel? Is it a Captain Marvel shirt?
Yes, it is a Captain Marvel shirt.
It's fine. If you want to show it off, it's perfectly fine.
I mean, there you go.
Oh, I like that. I like that. At least you have a good background. It's the same one we had when you talked to Eric. And
it is. Yeah.
Look how happy they were before Keone ruined everything.
Keone? What did Keone do?
She spoiled that Iris was pregnant.
Hi.
She's a baby.
She's a baby, exactly.
But yeah, Lacy, what were you saying before we lost you?
I think those were my thoughts. Other than like Tom just looked great. I wish there had been more of Reverse Flash actually, because he just looked like so rested and refreshed and like he was having a great time. So I would have watched more.
Dragging everyone in that room. Let's talk about that for a second. Like, how fun was it seeing all those speakers together?
I mean, I don't care about any of them except for Tom Barnes. So, I mean, I kind of
not even Teddy.
Teddy looked good, but also, Hunter Solomon sucks. So, die in a fire, stay dead.
I just haven't watched those episodes in so long. I'm kind of like, yes, I remember this man.
I love that Tom and Bart literally dragged Hunter for Felf, like, where have I seen this before? Pretend to be their friend and then turn out to be the evil guy. I wonder whose book you read that from. That was really, really funny.
Reverse Flash stays undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah, unless he goes up against Allegro just by blowing light at him. I think that was a cool sequence because like she just like first of all I was like, Allegra, who's gonna pay for all this? I think
that's like the special effects they've saved of her powers from like the whole season for like this.
Oh my god, so true.
Yeah, we haven't seen her like that's the thing, like she gets
she had to store it up like a battery for this one scene.
Well, that one episode at the bar, they're like, "Oh, you can't use your powers. It's too dangerous to use them
don't
inside."
remind me about that episode. That was painful. That was painful. But I thought all the speeches meeting together were fun. But like especially with Gossip being like, I'm the god of speed, and then like Saboteur instantly shows up and it's like, no, I am. Like again, this was like the ultimate pissing contest for speedsters. So
It just goes to show how like all like kind of stupid, not stupid like intellectually, but just kind of like their motivations are so dumb. Like they're just so like
it's a comic book show. It's supposed to be a little dumb.
No, I know, but like having them all in a room together, it's just like, wow, you guys are cool.
Yeah.
Toddy, how did you feel, Toddy?
I mean,
wait, Cecile, tell us how Tatiana felt.
You know what? I aside from Cecile in this sequence, I did, I felt like I was like, oh, it's over. But when it was happening, I was like, oh yay, lightning, different speed lightning. It's fun. I see that we saved some of the budget for this episode. Yay. I don't know how I felt about Savitar stabbing Nora like her mom, quote unquote, and then Nora, just vibrating out of it. Like I'm glad she vibrated out of it, obviously. But I was like, did I need a reminder of that? I don't know. But I guess at least that's one face off that made sense. Although someone mentioned, like, did Nora know that that's an alternate version of her dad? And it would have added to it if Nora had known that, or if there was something about that. But at this point, like, let's just move on from the fact that Barry stabbed Iris once. So, or that Barry stabbed Iris once. So yeah, other than that, like, I feel like it definitely wasn't the highlight of the episode for me. But it also didn't.
It's watchable.
Right. It didn't ruin the episode. So. The end.
Did Cecile sound different when she was like going into Gosby's like mind? Are you afraid? I can feel how scared you are. Like it didn't sound like Cecile like the UH usually sounds.
Maybe there was like an ADR thing. Sometimes the line sounds a bit different.
That's what I thought it was. It sounded like an ADR read to me.
Mm-hmm. It sounded worse when like Lacy. Remember the original version we got? It didn't sound like her. That's like was a completely different woman doing the ADR.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's how you know it's an ADR read. Yeah, because they had to take out the original line of dialogue for whatever reason.
But in here, like her voice sounded deeper, and I'm like, oh god, even like her alternate voice sounds annoying.
Enviro Earth 2 says they'd give the series finale a 7.5 out of 10, and I would say, like, especially considering this section, I agree with that. I would give the other section higher, but
much higher. Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else we want to talk about in terms of the show? I mean, maybe we can talk more about Eddie.
I would just reiterate. I would just reiterate what I said last week, which is that they definitely. I mean, there's a lot to complain about in terms of the pacing of this 4-parter, but like what they chose to do with Eddie and Wen is, I think, like the biggest mistake of it. Because I feel like we didn't even really get to see him as Cobalt Blue that much. And did they ever explain the dumb blue crystal? Anybody? No?
Not really. Yeah.
It's just like the negative speed force, like voodoo crystal.
But like, when did that?
That just happens to like be laying around freely.
No, here's what I think. Here's what I think happened. If I had to get, because apparently I'm the internet's unofficial Eric Wallace whisperer. So if I had to guess what Eric was doing. This was their way. Okay, after he defeated Negative Reverse Flash last season, I think all that remained of the Negative Speed Force was that blue crystal, and it needed new avatar, and that was like it's again a blue evil crystal. That's not weird. That's not a weird thing for me to accept. It's a comic book show. I can take that. I kind of just wish we spent a little more time with the crystal this season. That like maybe. It could have been something with Ryan Wilder, when we did Red Death, kind of like maybe the crystal had something to do with Red Death initially, and then we moved on to Eddie. But here's the thing: I'm glad that we even, was it perfection? Was it perfection? Maybe not. I think Rick Cousin gave a phenomenal performance in all 4 episodes. Again, like I feel like I I think this was a good villain arc, and like if we had to see Barry save anyone with a speech, for example, I think it was always for Eddie. Because now I'm like, because in the hindsight, Eddie ending his own life, he didn't do anything because Eobard kept coming back over and over and over again. So the fact that he actually now gets to live, and he gets like now the negative speed force can't. It's the ultimate defeat of the negative speed force by creating balance finally. So I'm sure people in the chat, or maybe you people listen to this later, are gonna be like, "Oh my god, Andy is such a chill." If I was a chill, I would not be speaking out against Cecile the way I do. But I don't know if there's something you guys want to add to that.
No, I mean, I think it makes sense in like a sci-fi fantasy made up way that they have to like balance things. It's weird to me that they anthropomorphize the negative speed force and then he's like gone apparently. Because like Speed Force Nora's still there, even though Barry's the avatar or whatever.
Well, and also, not to get me on my forces rant, but it's never made sense that the forces are both anthropomorphic representations of like things in nature and also people. Because if that's truly the negative speed force, it's not Eddie anymore.
Right.
Or at least that's the logic that they were using. A logic that they attempted at one point. May not be the logic now. I don't know. But forces are stupid. I hate them.
Yeah, and Myra says Eobard was in every season. LOL. Eddie's sacrifice was pointless. That's why I'm glad he lived. Now he can now pop in and out of the negative speed force whenever he wants. Also, I didn't realize how good the West Island loft looked in blue. Like that was kind of like, although I can tell like they had fun destroying all these sets like Star Labs, Jitters. Although, can we talk about that one barista who is like on point? Like this barista has seen so much that like, he knew like, okay, guys, it's time to dodge, get down, get ready. Like,
they probably have like metahuman attack drills as a part of their like onboarding.
That is so dark, but that makes sense.
That's what I would do if I owned a business in Central City.
Oh my god.
Insurance rates must be off the charts.
I don't know what Lacy is saying right now because she's muted.
She's pantomiming.
We can't, Lacy. We can't hear you.
I hear you.
I understood that one.
I was just saying that the metahuman insurance like riders must be ridiculous in Central City. And also, I'm trying to turn the light on so it doesn't look like I'm in such a cave.
I love the purple background.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's my office. Oh god, that's so bright. Well, I am lit now.
Well, I'm lit now. I love when the F bomb, like it's like.
Hey, I was muted, so nobody heard it.
From
YouTube.
You guys can cuss a little bit if you want to.
Oh, now the show's canceled.
Now that you said like all of the F-bombs were allowed in a season last week.
I mean, but I'm a man. I have rights. I'm kidding. I can't
Where's
even
Vanessa?
say.
We need her to come on and cancel Andy right now.
Let's see what people in the chat are saying before we go to the next storyline. And Libby says, now it's just a joke with people representing and walking around. I love the Speed Force episode when they were an abstract storytelling device in early season. Now it's just a joke with people representing it and walking around. Enviro Earth says, I haven't seen all season 7 and 8. Do you guys recommend watching?
I'm trying to remember what happened. I'm trying. Season 7 was season 7 Mirror Mistress.
Then the Mirror Mistress.
Right. Because that was the COVID season that it started with the back half of 6.
I would say yes. I mean, there's that. I mean, I think the Godspeed arc is fun because we get to see Bart, and because also because we had just gotten off of a very rough storyline with the Forces that we would take anything at that point. Season 8 Armageddon is great. Deathstorm storyline is great. Time Sickness, nope. Yeah, I mean, there are probably some good guides online of like what episodes worth watching in season 7 and 8. Um, but yeah, there you go. Let's see what people are saying else. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Electra goes, I thought Alira called him Chuck and said it in a weird way. I didn't realize she said chunk. I don't know if she said...
The whole chunk thing is just, I think we should just pretend it didn't happen because it feels really gross now that I see that picture. So I'm like, no, we don't have to acknowledge.
Oh, there you go. Matt says, I remember Brandon saying they avoided calling Chester Chunk on the show because it was a reference to his weight in the comics. Yeah, Cypher said, why reveal that Chester has power if we're not going to see him use them? At least they remembered, they remembered what happened in season 6. Let's see. Liv says, I think if they wanted a team fight, they should have lost and let Barry have the final. Yeah.
I support you, Liv.
Yeah, we should have had one more episode and a little bit more money, and I think this could have easily happened. Because yeah, like I felt so bad, like especially for Teddy, because he was like so excited to work with Grant, and then like all the scenes he had with Grant had to get cut out because Grant got sick. But let's see what else. Apology with tears, and yeah, I will. It will be like that one. What's her name? Laura Lee or whatever. When she got cancer and like she was like trying to pretend that she was crying and no tears were coming out. Yeah, that would basically be me. And let's see what other people are saying. Cecile Mindegap says Cecile can solo Anti-Mara and Darkseid. Oh good lord! If she did that, the whole DC community would go after her. Leamy one. Here's a question. What Leamy says? Yeah, why was it in the law? I thought the negative speed force was Barry's old house.
It's because Eddie wants to marry Iris, so he
there
moved
you go.
into
Exactly.
the negative speed force law.
Exactly.
That's
Speaking of Barry marrying Iris, shall we move on to the West Allen portion of the evening? Because it is almost 11 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, let's toddy cap the West Allen of it all.
Why I have to do it again? Iris is going to push a baby out of her, canal. And
canal.
And Barry is busy fighting 16 speedsters. But thankfully, he does make it back in time. The whole family is there. Baby Nora did not have a twin to the end. Did not get Bart even in baby form. So that's okay. Joe sings a beautiful song. So now we know that in every universe, Biology 101. Thank you. Now we know that in every universe, Joe can sing real good. I don't know why he didn't become a jazz singer in this one. But anyway, very beautiful. Lots of West Allen montages. Nora holds herself. Also excellent. Then we have like a little, what do you call it when you have a little party that you had a baby? It's like a baby shower, but the baby's already here. It's like the baby's first day party.
Baby greeting.
Baby, welcome, baby party. I don't know. But anyway, they have a little party about it. And it's fabulous. I have nothing to say about this other than it's super cute. We love West Allen. Candace and Grant brought the chemistry, even in the final episode, even with COVID. Still have the sparks.
I just need to know, I'm sorry. Where is Jenna? Who is watching her?
That's Breeze's point. That's Breeze's rant.
Where is Joni? Is Joni not going to come visit her? Whatever?
I am convinced that Joan does not exist post-crisis.
Which is terrible. Like, why would they do that? I hate
Like
it
you,
so
Tati, I
much.
think like you're the only one who's like actually a fan of Joni.
No, I'm not. It's like I'm not a fan of Joni. She is a member of the family.
You do consistently remember that she exists.
Yes,
Which I do not.
I will not
And
let
neither
anyone
does her
forget.
mother.
But yeah, no, Jenna wasn't there. So ridiculous. Wally wasn't there. Also ridiculous. You can't get a Skype call from Wally congratulating his sister on the birth of her child. Whatever, it's fine.
I know one
But
uses
this makes
Skype
it sound like I'm
anymore.
angry. I'm not angry. I'm very happy. I love
No,
all the West
you're
Allen
very
moments.
you're very angry. You're very angry right
That's
now.
because I just live in anger. You know what I mean? That's where I thrive. But if I look on the bright side of life, I can say that I do feel like this finale did pay some homage to the importance of West Allen as a unit, of the whole West Allen extended family. Joe actually got to be a dad for once, and he got to propose to Cecile at his daughter's baby welcome home party. And I thought that was really sweet, actually. I actually really liked that. It reminded me of the season 3 days when I cared about Joseal before Cecile was a bane of my existence. Exactly. And when she put the little pillow down so that he could
that
get
was
on one
okay.
knee,
That was
so cute.
That was the one good thing she did in the whole finale. Like, you know, that was the one good thing she still did this whole season.
Yeah, Mads is absolutely right. We had an off-screen call with Caitlin's mom, who Caitlin is still calling.
Oh wait, till we will get to Keon Corner.
Okay. I'm just saying, but we couldn't have a call with Cisco or Wally. Like, if Carlos couldn't be there, could we at least not get flowers that Cisco sent? Whatever. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
What if Cisco were the one who sent the blue roses, and then Ed?
Oh my God! All this time, Eddie's just been stealing their mail. Cisco's been sending
blue roses. So he's evil and cheap.
Anyway, so who would like to speak about cute little West Allen's? Liv is right. The setting is still, always got to be interrupting West Allen important moments. Everyone thinks because West Allen is the core of the family unit, they think that West Allen moments are their moments. That's understandable, but it is wrong. So, Lacy, would you like to begin with your feelings?
I will begin with my feelings, and my feelings are: I don't understand how Nora held herself, because every episode of Doctor Who I have ever watched has informed me that is a time paradox that will end the world. So cool.
I love that Chester and Allegra were like, it's okay. It's not that bad. It's fine. Just do whatever.
I don't think that I
acknowledged it.
I don't think I trust Chester to figure out time paradoxes. It's just like a feeling that I have. I also thought the Joseal of it all was kind of cute. I think I would have thought it was cuter if it had happened 3 seasons ago instead of right now.
So they could have left the show.
I just still don't know why she didn't move to their fancy new country house with her husband and baby.
She's a horrible mother.
But I don't it was cute, but that's not what I needed from like the final few minutes of the show. Do you know what I mean? Like I liked the sort of closer. I liked the family vibe of it all. That wasn't that was about like, this is sort of the family that they are by blood, and also the family they've chosen, and they're all still here and they're all still together. Caitlin is alive somehow. Like I didn't.
We got Keon Corner. Don't worry. We got Keon Corner.
Don't worry. Keon Corner is the farewell. Keon Corner is going to be a journey. But like I don't know. I didn't need. On some level, as cute as that was, and the pillow thing was really cute, because Lord knows, like, he's gonna get Social Security before they ever get married. But I don't know. That felt like it took a long time, and space was at a premium in this episode. So, I would have rather have seen more of, like, if we're gonna end the world by committing time paradoxes, let's like have the West Allen family like doing family things.
Yeah, this is a good question. Why does she call her mom Carla?
Well, didn't she like not really have a great relationship with her
Well,
mom
if my mom did not care that I was dead and kept just embracing these other random ass people who looked like me, I would also call them Carla. That's what you get.
I thought because when things were happening, months ago, I remember I was like, hey, are they gonna get to are they gonna have to get to are they gonna get to have that birth scene at least by themselves? And they were like, yes, don't worry, there's doctors and nurses in there. Although apparently people who are like in the medical field were like, a birth is not that like the whole setup didn't look that convincing. So
Oh no, it took me out of it. I'll save it for my bit, but oh my gosh.
yeah, but that baby was so cute. That baby was so cute. Also, apparently, I didn't know how important it was for the
I
West
think
Island
that was like
fandom
a 3-month-old baby too. That was not a newborn. The baby was gigantic.
they couldn't have an actual like
Poor Iris and her canal.
canal. That is probably the best self-edit Tati has ever done on this podcast. I mean, I don't think we would get in trouble for saying, I can't say it.
I mean, it's just biology.
Biology, 101 biology with Tati. Were you good at biology in high school, Tati?
No.
I was like, I didn't even
I was
go.
not good. I feel like I told you all this once, maybe, but like my this is chemistry, but still all science, all math. One time, I met my chemistry teacher outside of school, and my friend was with me and told her that I got insert number here. It's a very high number on the SAT, and she's like, "Oh my god, Tatiana, I didn't know you were smart."
I feel that on a visceral level as someone who was like smart but terrible at math and science.
Yes.
But yeah, I know I love that West Island got to have their moment. I'm glad we got a kiss. This was clearly before Grant got sick, and look, when you see Candace just bawling, I think this is when it was hitting her that this is the end. Because she just that sobbing was just but that baby was really, really cute. And Nora holding herself, listen, time travel in the Arrowverse has never made sense. Again, we literally had a show called Legends Tomorrow that ran for seven seasons and barely made sense most of the time. So if I can accept that,
like everybody online has been talking about like the Arrowverse ending the like past 24 hours, and people keep posting that clip from Legends where Grodd tries to kill Obama, and I'm like, this is the greatest show that's ever made. Sorry.
I kind of wish Barack Obama had actually reacted to this episode and been like, "Oh yeah, this is great."
Do you think Netflix just like recommends him that episode?
Was he even allowed to watch Netflix when he was in the White House?
No, but I mean now he like Michelle Obama literally like makes stuff for Netflix. So
oh, that would be funny. But yeah, no, I think I'm glad the pregnancy led to the birth, and it was really between Barry and Iris, just the two of them, and the baby greeting party, whatever you want to call it. It was cute. I love the little like excess onesie she had. So that was it was adorable. Joe Hill getting proposal, I think that might be my fault too, because when Toddy and I talked to Eric back in March, and because Eric was like talking about like, no, they're not getting divorced, and I had to correct him, saying they're not even married yet, Eric. It's I should just tell my mother that you probably shouldn't have given birth to me, because look at all the pain I've now caused the Flash fandom 29 years later. But yeah, good, great, fine. They got engaged. Good. Now hopefully maybe Cecile will actually like, get a grip on her powers and not like constantly like be using them on. Yes, Matt, I made Cecile fly and Joe propose. I know.
Andy is the harbinger of doom. No, actually, I think the proposal is good. Like, I'm not against that at all. So that's fine.
I mean, why are you being so simp now in the final moments with Cecile? I don't get it.
Because the reason that I liked, the reason that Cecile was brought on in the first place was for Joe's life to move forward. So when they do that, I'm like, yes, that's good. And then when they're like, what if she was #feminism, but they don't know what feminism is? That's bad. So, so there you go.
But yeah, I apologize to everyone that I clearly give Eric some ideas. Eric, if you're watching, I'm kidding, obviously, but I feel it is. I know Sky. Also, guys, go follow Sky_artist on Twitter and Instagram. She has put out some like gorgeous artwork over the last like 48 hours. A lot of amazing artwork with Candace and Iris, and also she made an amazing Team Flash, Flash Family poster. So go check her out. She's awesome. But yeah, and then West Island montage. Oh my god, when that happened, that's when I started sobbing again.
Oh my
First, I
God,
started
they look so young, like in those early clips. I was like, babies, tiny babies.
Yeah, I hope, but I also hope that for Snowberry fans out there that were watching, that it was sending them somewhere, because they came out of the woodwork for this one.
Did they really?
The hug. We will get to Keon.
It's a good hug, though. I'm gonna give him that.
It was a great hug, but it was somehow they're like, oh my god, it's his position, like his original teammate. Like it was. Oh,
I'm just laughing at Matt's comment. Iris needs to drop her workout routine because she had a flat stomach 1 week after giving birth to a 15-pound baby.
It's not wrong. Those are facts.
Wait, so it doesn't really disappear quickly after that?
I mean, not like the next day.
But it was a week.
We're not going to get into this on the podcast. But
I don't need to hear Tatiana say the word canal again. So we can just move right along.
Oh my god, this radio goes. I'm just thankful that and. Oh, now I don't even get to be called and. No, there we go. He did correct himself. I'm just thankful that Eric didn't give. I'm just thankful Andy didn't give Eric the idea that Cecile needed to be the Speed Force.
That would have been so amazing if Cecile replaced Nora as the Speed Force. I'm pretty
sure Lacy would have grabbed my throat through the computer screen, being like, Andy, I've been tortured by forces for 2 seasons.
I choose violence.
I choose
Barry
violence.
Would have been like, I always wanted to call you mommy. The silence. All right.
Canal, breeze. Her
pie maker.
Whoa. What?
I don't get that.
Her pie maker. Oh, Toddy, I hope you wrote this in your.
I didn't say it. Med said
it. Yes, New She is wearing Lacy is wearing a Star Lab shirt. You're muted again, Lacy. Just so you know.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, why is she so silent in her reactions?
Because I keep muting it because Baker keeps wandering around meowing really loudly, and I'm like,
Lacy, I don't mind. It's okay. Let him sing.
Let him have his. He'll be back for Keon Corner. My Starlab shirt. I'm actually shocked I'm the only person wearing a Starlab shirt, to be honest.
I couldn't find mine.
I couldn't find my sweatshirt, so I wonder if I even I may have lost mine during the move somehow, or if my mom I will admit,
I definitely have not had this one on since COVID, because I'm like, man, this shirt is a lot tighter than it used to be. What happened? The COVID-19.
See, I bought so many t-shirts in the past 3 years since that's all I wear now. So I had to retire the Star Lab, so I don't know where I put it.
Yeah, I do have even though it is flipped, I do have my Flash bandana. But yes, Breeze, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so I will say initially the burst scene I thought was just kind of comical, even by network TV standards, the way it just kind of slid out and they had a little bit of goo in it, but it was they didn't have to wipe it down or anything. It was just a perfectly clean 15-pound baby that slid right out for canal, whatever.
If anybody has ever seen the British show called The Midwife, you should watch that, because that shit is realistic and it is horrifying.
Yeah, so that like I wanted to be like really emotional, but it just took me out for a minute. But like once they were like, crying and like holding her, I'm like, okay, like I'm emotional. And the scene with Joe, which like finally, thank God, we have a Joe and Ira scene, which we did not get enough of this season, and him singing and like the little montage, that really like broke me. I'm like, this is so sweet. So I did like that. I thought the part about like Nora being like, "Oh wait, should I be here?" Like, even though like the logic doesn't make sense, I still thought it was kind of funny. Like when she's holding baby Nora at the party, she's like, "I love me." Like I thought that was really funny. You definitely would not have like 20 people at your apartment a week after giving birth like that, but it's okay, whatever plot devices. But yeah, overall, like I feel like there were some haters, even on this podcast, who said we might not see Nora being the actual birth of Nora. And I said, yes, we would. And I was correct.
her. It was her.
No, I don't think it was Tatiana, but I think it was you, Andy. I think you gave me a hard time when I said I would like to see Nora be born. And everyone's like, oh, we can't see her be born. And I said, yes, we can. And we did. So there we go. Here we are. But yeah, I'm glad she exists. And
Si se puede is Breeze's motto.
yes. So sorry to all the haters. You had to see really poorly depicted childbirth on television.
That's how childbirth works. What are you talking about? That was 100%
oh my God, Matt's
scientifically
comment.
accurate.
Did Nora face for her own?
Oh my God. I didn't even. I was like so like fixated on the other stuff that I didn't. Yeah, they literally don't even pause to like wipe her down, cut the umbilical cord, anything. They just hand her right over.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to buy the season 9 Blu-ray and just watch the deleted scene, because I wonder how much we would like suppose like if there would. Because I'm like, there's a lot of like lack of logic scenes just disappearing here, and I wonder like, was it all because of time?
No,
See,
I'm
pacing. This finale, the problem is pacing.
I never disagree with you on that. I mean, I can
know.
still
I
enjoy
just feel the need to say it over and over because it's so like. I just think about like that second episode of this quartet that was like the whole thing could have just been removed, and we would have been fine.
we could have just made a whole Eddie episode at least.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because that was. I'm so happy he came back. I'm so happy he got to come back. I love him.
As well.
I'm happy. I love him.
I love to see him get a paycheck.
Oh, one last time, Dottie.
One last
at least he got a paycheck. No, but he was actually apparently when he got to Vancouver, he got the call like, hey, we need to do fitting for your super suit, and he like apparently didn't know. I think he didn't know he was supposed to get a super suit or something. So I'm just like,
And he got a great super suit. Like that is by far one of the best like new ones they've done recently. Looks great.
Yeah, they were like, I think they learned a lesson from like, let's not do the negative reverse. I just want to know where the hell that idea came from. You should have asked him that, Lacy. How was talking to Tom Cavan? Was this your first time talking to him like one-on-one?
No, this is maybe my third or fourth.
One-on-one, outside round tables. Outside of round tables.
This was not my first time talking to him.
Okay,
he's wonderful, and just a lot of fun to talk to. He like wants a Reverse Flash spinoff, basically, and hangs out with Grant all the time, and was really like, oh yeah, I'm not as upset as the rest of you because I left the show in season 6, so it's not as fresh for me. Just keeping it real.
He and Carlos just completely unbothered.
The interview is live at thegeek.com. You can go check it out. But spinoff.
Yeah, he said that at around the time. I actually like wrote a piece about this, so I should look it up to see what he said exactly. He said it was around the time that they introduced HR, I think, that because he said he had a lot of like different Wells ideas like in his pocket, and one of the ones he wanted to do was like a Reverse Flash. You know, he's immortal, he's trapped in a different Earth, falls in love with like a civilian, but has to get home, and it's all like,
wow, he really thought about it.
No, he like that. My interview with him is in 2 separate pieces because one of them is just devoted to his like incredibly like detailed spin-off plan. He thought this through. He was ready, but I guess Greg said no because stuff was happening. So
why would your husband say no?
No, Greg Berlanti.
Oh,
I'm not married to Greg Berlanti. Those are different Gregs.
oh my God, I forgot.
would be very
By the way,
weird.
happy belated birthday, Greg Berlanti. Yesterday was his birthday for the Flash finale.
Aw, go team.
I feel like we didn't talk about this. Because we're talking about Tom. I love that they did bring a Wells back.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. I mean, I think that stupid Timeless Wells thing is kind of dumb, and I wish they had just realized that Harry was the superior Wells that should have stayed.
Obviously,
Yeah.
But I just was like, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was into that. And I was also always
Timeless
kind of a
Wells.
secret. I'm trying to think of what the ship name for this is. Snowwell shipper. I was kind of like into that a little bit, so that vibe worked for me.
Oh, Lacy learned her free flag.
Yeah, it's a finale. I can say whatever I want now. I always ship things that are like never going to become canon in any way. You get better fic that way.
That's true. That's true.
The epitome of Snowberry.
I mean, I feel like Kyun and Timeless Wells could be together.
I mean,
That was kind of funny, actually. I love that idea. All right.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's time for Keon Corner?
Yes.
Are we ready for Keon Corner? Let's do Keon Corner. Not a lot actually happens with Keon. She gets a really cool.
This sums up what happened.
What the going on in here on this day?
Pretty much. She got to do a really cool fight scene with a dude who once held her other self hostage, which I don't know if she knows about or not. So I guess she might be mad about it. She might not. She gets like she gets some cool powers finally. She's not as integral to the final like face off as I think we all sort of believed that she would be. So much so that you're like, wow, why did we need Keon this season? If Keon literally fought one person
to send Barry into the
that's
negative speed force, I guess. So.
I don't know.
She did do that. She did send him into negative speed force. So
yeah, but I think we have determined that the rules of the forces are, let's just call them flexible. So I think there's probably many ways that he could have gotten into the negative speed force, which is inside Eddie. I don't know. Who can say?
Barry's been inside Eddie.
Or his house.
Everyone won tonight.
No, that was hot. That would have been hot. In another universe, I could totally believe that Barry and Eddie were gay for each other, and
I might go investigate and see if there's fan fiction about that after we get off this call because I'm intrigued by this.
I don't think you have to look very far.
Probably not. AO3 always provides.
Can we do a fan fiction episode about that?
Oh my god, yes. Case? I will see if there's any good like snow wells, and I'll be like, here's my secret ship.
Okay. I was like, about the specific scenario of Barry going in Barry.
I'm sure somebody's probably like written that. Or is writing it like right now. They're writing it right now.
Before Daniel Panabaker got cast as Caitlin, apparently she was supposed to be older and closer to Wells' age. So Lacy may have been onto something.
Ooh. Like maybe that was going to be a ship. Yes, exactly.
I mean, exactly. I get the vibe from them. That's all I'm saying. They're both nerds, both attractive. They're into nerdy things. I don't know.
They're like
anyway, Keon eventually like has to ascend or something because she's a goddess, and I guess that's what you do when you're a goddess. Nothing about her being a goddess makes any sense. And I hate it. But plus side, Caitlyn's alive because I guess once her body has been vacated by another invading force that has taken it over, Caitlyn can return to it. And Caitlyn lives. Yay! Caitlyn lives despite having no arc to speak of in the final season. And no one really even noticed she was gone. Although I guess Barry did at least apologize for trashing her house, which was pretty great. So... I don't know. I'm glad that I'm obviously like super relieved that Caitlyn is alive because I didn't think that was necessarily going to happen. Just because there's nowhere else besides the storyline where it is so apparent how resistant they were to making any sort of changes at all from their original like season 9 plan when they found out A, it was the final season, and B, it was shortened. Because there's just like, you can see that probably like where they were going to go with this is like, Caitlyn's alive. Hooray. And now Caitlyn like gets a story for the back half of the season that is about her, like, I don't know, processing all of this or like moving on from Frost, like her grief over Frost or some something. But instead, Caitlyn's just live and has now spent 2 out of the past 3 seasons, no, 2 out of the past 4 seasons, 3.5 seasons, not being on the show at all. So that's great. And hate that for me. But she's back. That's great. She at least gets like one last, good scene with her teammates. Cisco still has not called to find out whether she's dead or alive, which is great. But I guess Carla is going to have to suck it up that her real daughter is here and not another replacement. Another replacement that she has embraced. Mostly, I'm just really glad that Caitlyn is back, even if she has no real story or anything. But not being dead, I guess, is a good story.
Yeah, it's also a step up, I gotta say, from the resurrection of Laurel and Tommy at the end of Arrow, where they're like, "Wow, what if it was just a whole different show this whole time?" Isn't that crazy? People didn't know about it.
Well, Laurel wasn't resurrected.
Yeah, when he
That's
brought
Black.
her back,
That's Black Siren.
No, he brought back the original Laurel.
No,
to be with Tommy.
There's a whole scene. It's
Black Siren.
Yeah.
Have I been wrong this whole time? Why would Black Siren be with Tommy?
There's a whole scene where like Laurel even asks, like, why wasn't Laurel Laurel brought back?
Oh, well,
because
okay,
Mark Guggenheim hates
Tommy is bad because he died in the first season. There you go. But I can't believe it's not the original Laurel. That's so upsetting to me. All right, well, then never mind.
Because Mark hates Laurel. Like, it's obvious.
All right.
Sorry, Lacy, what were you gonna say?
But I'm just like, but also loved the like Wells Keown interaction, shipping that as well.
we own. What's a good? Hold on. Quells.
Kells. Like the book of Kells in Ireland. That was what I was thinking about, but I'm a weirdo. Anyway, it's the final Keown corner. Let your anger over the dumbness of this storyline that we've been subjected to. Poor Danielle Panabaker, man. She's a trooper.
I feel like you've kind of said it all. This storyline just did not work in the condensed time that they tried to fit it in. I literally tweeted last night, "Bye, Keown. Sorry you were born," and I meant that sincerely. But yes, I'm glad that Caitlyn is back. It's the least they could have done. I'm glad she and Barry made amends. It's the least they could have done since, yes, the show has Barry and Iris are the most important thing. But if you recall, Barry did have friends, and they were Caitlyn and Cisco, and they don't even want to acknowledge Cisco, so they can at least acknowledge Caitlyn. And I will keep it brief since I know we're running late. But those are my feelings.
Yeah, it's the final episode. It's the final episode. We curse words are allowed. Time,
no rules.
Well, some of us still have
like
to
the
go
purge.
Night, so.
What would I say? Yeah, I feel really bad for Caitlyn for this whole season. But I'm glad she did come back. That she did get to, have that she and Barry got to make up. I guess it was because they were like, wow, Annie and Lacy really fighting about our fight, so maybe we should.
Thanks for making up, guys.
Thanks for making up. Now we can make up, but and no, Cecile can tell us how we're supposed to feel for each other now. So because Cecile. No, but I'm glad she came back. I love the fact that Carla is just so relaxed with all this. Like imagine getting
Carla just does not give a shit. She's like, "Do I have a daughter that looks like Danielle Panabaker? We're fine."
she and Joe are going to the same school of parenting. Yeah. Carla, do you even have a daughter? Yeah, I'm glad she's back. Obviously, because I love Caitlyn. I also wonder again, it would have been so much better to have an arc where Eddie comes back with Ronnie coming back, and so she could have had her happy ending.
Truly, there's nothing other than literally having god powers. There's nothing that in this story that they couldn't have found a way for Caitlyn to do, except exist, I guess.
And Caitlyn could have god powers for 10 seconds if Cecile could have god powers for 3 years.
Yeah, that would have been way cooler. When instead of while trying to bring Frost back from the dead, she could have gotten like Caitlin could have connected to the life force from the comics, literally, and been like, but do I want this power now? Like, is this what Kate Frost would have wanted? Yeah. And that's probably the only time I think Lacy would have accepted a new force joining the show, if allowed. Like, and there's so many cool like visual choices they could have done, like like with Caitlin, like maybe like she got like silver like hair or something like that, and she like she looks a little like Frost, but she has powers, and she could have had a moment defeating Zoom on her own. Because again, Mark did nothing. Mark just like
he did take his shirt off, so he did that.
And that would have been one of the coldest days in Vancouver, apparently. So
wow, our strongest soldier.
The things he does for his craft.
Toddy, we need to repeat that. The things he does for his crotch. Canal.
I said for his craft, Andy.
Oh, crap. I thought you said crotch. I thought you said crotch.
Wow, get your head on the gutter.
I meant his commitment to sparkle motion. Gosh.
Oh, this is Mercutio says, "Hey guys, I've been listening for the past 3 years, but it's my first time being able to join a live stream. It's so nice to finally meet y'all." Yes,
nice to meet you, Mauricio.
Kayla's back, thank God.
I mean, I would have like lost my mind. So thank you for that, Flash.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, Eric, for that. Yeah, hopefully we can talk once the strike is over. We can hopefully talk to him and ask him like, "Hey, what happened with Caitlin this year?" So when they say Keon ascended, like, is she dead or like what does that mean?
No, I think she's like God.
She's like Mother.
I think she like
Nature
ascended
now.
to like her divine self or something.
She's like Mother Nature now.
They should have made her the Avatar of the Green because an actual DC concept, but that's too.
I thought
why would they do that?
I thought Swamp Thing was the Avatar of Green.
Well, Swamp Thing is connected to the Green. I don't know that he's the literal Avatar, but
he is the Avatar. But like other people have been the Avatar too.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have a Swamp Thing right now.
Mind the Gap says Keon goes on to create James Gunn's new DC universe.
I love it.
The universe.
Lazy, yeah, Toddy, why didn't you ask James Gunn that a few months ago? I'm like, are you gonna bring Keon to make the new DC universe? He'll be like, who the fuck is
that? Let's do it.
Set my question on.
he would have been like, who's Keon?
He probably would have said, "What is Keon? What is a Keon?"
I will do you one better. Why is Keon?
Why is Keon?
Questions we've been asking all season.
But yeah, do you want to talk about the final scene now? I can do the Toddy because Toddy can eat. I don't want to make her starve. So the end of the series, Barry gets to pick up Nora. Like it's a good callback to when he couldn't hold Nora in season 6 during his visions, and he decided to tell her a little story and a little tease of what their future is going to look like, because this show has always been about defying the impossible and becoming the impossible. But now it's now time to make a new world. I was in the title there. A new world where nothing is impossible. So as we're getting ready to say goodbye to these characters, Barry runs off and sends off 3 lightning bolts to 3 particular characters. We meet the present Avery Ho, loving her new hairdo, from the upgrade from 2013 to 2023. The glow up, and we meet Max Mercury as well. He's on a motorbike, and he's like, time to go home, or maybe not. And we get to meet one of the first non-binary speedster in DC Comics, Jess Chambers, and implying that these 3 will become the next, will become speedsters as well, and and kind of completing the larger Flash family from the comics. And we also see little baby Nora, like her speed, her lightning glowing in her eyes, and Barry runs into the sunset, and that's the end of the Flash.
Barry
I've been
runs
wait-
into the sunset. Sounds very Icarus.
Or he ran home to be with IRS and play with
Running
with the
home to
baby.
you. .mp3.
There we go. Oh, it should be our karaoke version of it, Toddy, that we sang in your car that one summer. The fact that Toddy could drive and sing so well at the same time, I'm like, what if I get us killed?
Is an overstatement. I can
although
sing loud.
You sang really, really well.
Thank
I've
you.
been waiting for several months to talk to you guys about this ending. I didn't tell them. So I'm genuinely wondering what they felt about this final scene. Toddy, I'm going to start with you. How was it seeing?
The speedsters, the new speedsters,
Mhm.
the birth of the babies. I like the concept. I thought it was really sweet. Especially loved that it was coming full circle. Barry was doing the voiceover to Nora, right? Telling baby Nora the story of his life. That was really sweet. I love that. I like the idea of him passing on his powers so that there are more heroes. And obviously, if you know the comics, you know these people as heroes. However, I just feel like if we had gotten to know them, if they were characters in the universe that we had gotten to know, and then we learned that this is how they get powers or whatever, they would have been a little bit more impactful. But as someone who does know who these characters are, I was like, oh, yay. Now I can imagine them going on adventures. So I thought it was a nice send-off, a nice, the story is going to continue, even if it's not specifically Barry, and even if you're not specifically watching. So yeah, a nice bow tie on the series, even if it just means more possibilities.
And Lacy, how was it for you?
I thought it had big Buffy the Vampire Slayer series finale energy. But for those that don't know, Buffy ends with Buffy. Why?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, anyway, I thought it had big Buffy energy because Buffy ends with basically the Slayer, who is the one girl in all the world who can fight the monsters, sending out all of her power to all these other girls who could grow up, who could now grow up and become Slayers and fight for themselves. And that felt really that felt good. I liked that. I thought it was really sweet. I'm not super familiar with these folks from the comics, and it still worked for me because I liked the aspect of the story will go on even if Barry's part of the story is over, and it opens up a lot of doors to do other things because I feel confident Grant wants to do something else with his life at this point. So there's more Flashes. We can come back to this after we get through the other messy Flash that's coming.
Breeze, how about you?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I'm a sucker for a happy, hopeful ending, especially for kind of a lighter science fiction genre show. So I thought that worked really well. It sets up a hopeful future for them, which we've kind of already seen because we've seen future Nora and Bart.
Nor, don't ship them.
It is a fabulous not twin nickname.
Yes. What was I gonna say? I agree with Tatiana's point that it would have been cool if Jess and Max had kind of cameos the way Avery had earlier in the series, because then we would have more of a connection to them. Even if you're not a comic reader and know those names already. But yeah, I thought it was a good ending. Him hanging out with his baby, being all hopeful. I don't know. I just am a sucker for a happy ending. That's a low bar, but it worked for me. So I was glad about it.
Yeah, I'm because again, I was just so happy that we even got, because I was I'm not gonna lie, I was actually really disappointed when Eric told us that we weren't gonna see Max this season, and then weeks later, a beautiful source was like, "Hey, you're getting Max," And I'm like, how are we getting mad? And they're like, then they told me the scene, and and then the other characters. I'm like, oh my god, it's so exciting. So, CW, as you can tell, I can keep secrets. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. Kind of setting, give us an idea of what the future will look like. He's gonna train these new species, obviously. There were people who literally thought that Barry gave up his power. I'm like, no, he's literally throwing lightning into the sky, and then he runs off.
I did think that kind of until he ran off. Like, I'm like, is he like expelling
Retiring?
the force? Like, but
If Lacy can't expel the force, and then Barry can't either. But no, I love that. I really loved seeing again, like, kind of teasing to the future and what what is possible. Yeah, I mean, I understand they couldn't introduce these characters in the final season because along with with the villains and everything, I think it was just too tight. So I totally get it. But yes, Daryl, I'm sorry I didn't never interrupt Buffy talk. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, late I interrupted Buffy talk. You know what? Ironic is that Eric said that one of the finales he was pulling inspiration from was the Angel finale, which I'm like, I don't see that at all. This is way more like Buffy, honestly. Also, Angel was not that great of a show. Let's just be honest.
Angel was wonderful. You shut your mouth.
The character was wonderful, but the show
Angel
was
finale. I'm pretty sure everyone dies.
half the cast. Yeah, poor Amy Acker. We had to lose Fred to get this. What was her name? Illyria.
Illyria, yeah.
Yeah. So
who was kind of a god, also with blue hair.
Oh my god. What if? Oh my god! What if? What if Eric was using her as an inspiration for Keone? I don't know.
Danielle's like, why do I need these blue extensions? And Eric's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just watch Angel wherever it's streaming.
It's just your costume. It's just costuming. I do like they resurrected Caitlin resurrected without her blue clip-ons too. We forgot to shout out that.
Now, how funny would it be like if she had?
I guess Keone exiting her body took her clip-ins with her.
It was all the the chlorophyll, the natural elements.
What? But and now for the chat because it's time to get ready for scores because overall, how are we feeling about the finale and what score we would give them? Lacy, do you want to start?
What's the scale?
Oh, she says one moment. She says one moment. Okay. Breeze, do you want to give your score?
Out of what? 5, 10, A, B, C, D?
Yeah. Let's do A, B, C, D. I'm kidding. You can give it out of 10.
I would probably give it a 7 out of 10.
Breeze,
you're on mute.
I hit it too, and it didn't do it. I was gonna say, are we also rating on just this episode or the whole 4-parter?
I think we need to do that.
I gotta tell you, like F2 is gonna bring it down some.
I think we can judge that, like if we get into the whole 4-parter. I think that we're gonna be here for like another hour, but yeah. So just base it on the finale.
I think a 7 is about right. I think Breeze is right, as usual.
And Toddy, what would you rate this
Finale? I'm giving it an extra 0.5 bump because I do feel like the West Allen moments and the little like team gathering moments bring it up a tiny bit for me. I feel like it was underwhelming as a Flash finale in terms of spectacle, in terms of raising the stakes, etc. But I did feel the warm and fuzzies when Joe sang, when Barry and Iris kissed, when there were flashbacks to their love life together, when Joe proposes to Seal, etc. So 7.5. Thank you, and go on your merry speedster way.
I would give it I'm probably made it the nicest one here. I would give it an 8. Because of the West Island content, because of the Cabal Blue things, and the special cameos. Here's the thing. I'm not blind to the notion that there was some issues with this finale. I absolutely can see that. But the thing is, I will take But the things that I did love about it, I feel like they do deserve to be called out. Again, anything with the seal was just pure nonsense, whatever. Like the fact that Shalegra had that they had another 360 kiss, but also they literally took one of Iris and Bear's quotes from 401. You came back to me always. So I'm like, guys, come on. I think some people are maybe online at least a little too hard on the finale. But I enjoyed it to a large degree. So, and that's the series finale of The Flash, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, so let's do our final listener feedback, final viewer feedback. This is we'll find ways to do viewer feedback, on other things,
Please
Again,
start writing your fan fiction now for our fan fiction episode.
Yeah, you can send Lacy Snowwell stuff. You can send me things on Eddie and Barry. For Tatiana, you can send.
I also
Bart
would like
and...
to be in on. I would also like to be in on the Eddie Barry fanfiction.
No, we all get one each. Everyone who's going to write fanfic for Toddy, you send her Bart and Valerie. You send her Bart and Valerie material.
There is no Bart and Valerie fanfic, please. Please.
Who the hell's Valerie? I don't even remember.
How dare you? You don't remember her because she's not in the show.
Cop we've forgotten?
No, it's a comic.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Let Toddy and Breeze fight for a sec.
No, Valerie Perez is Bart's girlfriend in the Mark Guggenheim run of The Flash.
Oh, okay. Well, we all know I'm not a real one like Tatiana, so I don't.
Yes.
I don't know the.
So Bart,
Bart's girlfriends.
becomes the Flash, and he dates a Star Labs scientist girl named Valerie Perez.
Oh my god, it's just like Tim on Titans dating a Star Labs employee.
It's
but
just
hopefully
like
they're
that.
Age appropriate.
Exactly. Yeah, because Bart's in high school, but it's age appropriate. Don't worry about it. Because it's even though Bart ages like so weird, he's actually like younger than he looks.
Wait, no. Okay, so they just stole this. I'm seeing it now. But
anyway, I love Valerie despite her being a cradle robber.
But let's do some feedback.
I'm sorry, look, Kramer and Joe West shippers rise.
Oh my god, I wish there was fanfic for that. I would totally read that fanfic.
Yes.
That should have been the end game. Cecile could have left the show earlier. Okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna be mean anymore. Let's see. Lacy, we didn't have as much one tweet, yeah.
I
so
know,
what
we don't have as much comments as usual, which is upsetting. But maybe people
are
just still in their feels.
There's plenty of other feedback though.
Okay, fair. All right, our lone tweet is from Bryce James fan who said the Flash really to end for 5 to 6 seasons and gave us an awful finale, and not just that, but a setup to an awful spinoff. Like the CW is not Marvel. They're not doing what they did with All American and their other shows. They should have never been handed the Arrowverse. That's a downer.
And then on Instagram, we had several comments. If I can load the document. Brian James Fan says, the Flash really kept us waiting to end. Really kept us waiting to end for 5, 6 seasons and gave it an awful finale. And not just that, but a setup to an awful spin-up. Like Oh, no, that was a tweet. Sorry, I can't read. Bragg McDonald says, I absolutely loved it. I was screaming, clapping multiple times. This was definitely the best finale of all the Arrowverse shows. So happy that Caitlyn came back. I'll admit, I burst out laughing when Joe proposed because I just assumed they were married. My only gripe was, I wish we got this evil speed a little longer. Mac Key says, I wish Caitlyn was in the episode earlier. I wish she was in the season earlier. Okay. This is from John Patrick Van Pal from Facebook. Thank you everyone at Flash Party for covering all 13 episodes of season 9 of The Flash. Please put another Flash podcast through Facebook Live again when we talk about the Flash film. Yes, there will be one. Here are my series finale thoughts. I really enjoyed the series, but there's a couple of things I would like to talk about. First, it was really sweet of Joe, Nora, and the cast to be at the hospital when Iris gave birth to baby Nora. Agreed. But it would also be nice to have had Bart and Wally. Agreed. Second, when we thought Chuck was going to die, I think it would have been better to have Cisco Ramon as a backup. Well, thank God Chester didn't die. Third, I saw our old friend Timeless Wells, and I would like to know what Harrison Wells we did get this time. Well, it was Timeless Wells because I didn't catch a name like we did. It was also charming, wonderful to see the entire cast get together to celebrate baby Nora. I thought seeing Barry telling his daughter the story of the Phantom Line, which was really sweet. Like imagine if this entire time Barry was telling, when he was doing all those voiceovers during the early season, that he was actually telling it to baby Nora this whole time. My question for the series finale is, one, can you please explain a little bit more on who Cabal Blue and Malcolm Vaughn are? Wikipedia. We don't have time for it, sadly. Now that we know that Caitlin Snow was alive, where has she been this whole time? Yeah, Lacy, where has she been this whole time? Who would know? Third, how did everyone enjoy the special effects in the series finale? There were times when it was a little noticeable. But I was like, there were times where it actually did look really, really great. Like, I love when he threw the lighting into the set. That did really, really cool. I thought the flag proceeding was done really well. Did they use the part of the Barry Allen season 1 narration to open this episode? Yes, that was definitely 2014 Barry talking. Did we get a sneak peek of what would happen if Wally? Oh my god, yeah, John, you need to work. You need to work on this a little bit. Did we get a sneak peek of what would have happened if Wally Moore had taken over after Barry Allen decided to not be the Flash anymore and start a family on his own? Well, that's not what happened. It's not what happened. If Superman Lois gets renewed by Max, can you guys see Barry Allen and the Flash making a guest appearance on Superman Lois? And what would that mean for Flash out there moving forward? I mean, if we see him, either it's going to be that Earth's version of Barry Allen, or we will see Barry somehow cross into the multiverse. What it would mean for Flash fans, it would mean that you get to see Barry Allen one last time. Anyway, super series for the Flash, and I plan to watch all of the season of Flash on Netflix this upcoming summer, once a week. Thanks again on all the hard work everyone does on the Flash podcast. Well, thank you. And then Era OTA Olicity says, it's okay, Flash TV show. Eric can't hurt you anymore. With that salt, it was a very good episode. No one was being annoying this episode. The negative speeds versus Team Flash fight focused way too much on Cecile, Chester, and Allegra, which is probably the only negatives this episode. Yep, there you go. And now Toddy and Breeze will do emails.
How will we do emails? Because there are so many. What would you like to do, Breeze?
Yeah, since there are 8 of them, I think I will read
You
3.
can throw me a couple if you want. I only had one tweet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Lacy can read the last 2.
Okay, sounds
that
good.
works.
Okay.
I can kick us off if you
Kick
want.
us off.
So Shanna writes in, "Hello guys, how are you today? I think you're full of Flash emotions right now, like everybody else in the world. I don't know how to write about my feelings. When The Flash first aired, I was 17 years old. When I saw the teaser at the time, I thought, oh my god, it's my favorite comic character going to be on the show. I need to see him, and it all started there. Cool Tuesdays with The Flash wiped out all my day-to-day fatigue and energized me to work hard like Barry and try harder. Looking back at the point I grew up with Barry's story, I'm proud of every second I spent watching the series, and I'm grateful for making this unique memory. Thank you for making us believe in the impossible to get better and look kindly at life. I don't know who's reading this email, but whoever you are, thank you. I don't know who's reading the...
They're
No,
like, whoever in the world. No, which of us?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they know. They
No,
know.
but I
who
do. I love
Blaze
it's like,
Tatiana is.
I don't know who'll get this, but I love you.
Like a message in a bottle. Sorry. But I'd like to say something exclusive to... I think they think we're DC, which we sadly are not.
We are DC. No, we
finish
are.
reading the
We are the
email.
world.
I'm James Gunn.
We are all the Flash, remember?
They hope to see Grant on the next Flash podcast. They're a hero forever, and they gift us. They're proud of Grant, and don't forget that Grant's the best version of Barry Allen. They're going to miss all of Team Flash, and they wish them a life of success, health, and happiness. Best regards, Shano. And Libby writes in, who I know she knows who we are.
Yes.
Thanks for knowing who we are, Libby.
She says, hi, Flash Podcast. First, I want to thank you all for taking this journey with me and sharing my feedback every episode. It has always meant so much to me, and no matter if I'm gushing, joking, or ranting, you've always been there through it all. I have never once taken it for granted. I especially want to thank Breeze and Tatiana for reading my emails. You are very welcome, Libby. Now onto the episode. It definitely had its fair share of eye-rolling, head-scratching moments, like Allegra and Chester getting West Allen's iconic season 4 premiere dialogue and kiss that lasted for far too long. How Cecile can suddenly fly and is powerful enough to defeat Godspeed and his clones. And Keelan's powers changed again while Mark just stands next to her awkwardly. Other than Nora, who I love seeing stab Savitar, none of them should have been able to defeat these villains on their own. I did like the beginning scene with all of the evil speedsters. It reminded me of No Way Home, so I wish it was longer. And I wish Grant didn't have COVID so we could see him play Savitar again. Maybe the original script had Barry more involved in fighting the villains, but because he was in quarantine, it just didn't happen. But honestly, I don't care enough to get worked up about it because I don't watch for the villains. I watch for the characters and relationships that grounded the show. I watched Cisco, Camilla, and Wally. I wish Cisco, Camilla, and Wally had made an appearance, but I'm glad we got Caitlin back. I've had issues with her character in Killer Frost in season 4, but she didn't deserve for a goddess to take over her body. Joe proposing to Cecile was sweet, if not stealing the spotlight, but I laughed when he said she was the best mother. Case in point, why isn't Jenna with them? It didn't make sense. He'd proposed after they were living apart for months. It was nice to acknowledge Chester was affected by the black hole, but why bring it up 3 seasons later? Chester didn't have a story the whole season, and now they bring it up. Also happy Allegra got a super suit, but so confused why they never gave her a superhero name or mask. But regardless of all that,
actually, that was one of the notes in the embargo. So clear this episode didn't make it into the episode. Her name was Wavelength.
Oh,
yeah. When I read that, I was like, "Who is that?" It was like, "Don't."
Yeah, it said she
Wavelength.
herself.
And I was like, "Okay."
And I was like, "Where did she out herself?" I thought that the rainbow, like the rainbow light that she let out was her outing herself. I was like, I guess the world knows she's Wavelength now.
Interesting. But regardless of all that, I love the finale because they put a bow on Barry and Iris' story. My wish list that I shared when I came on the podcast pretty much came true. We got to see the birth in the hospital. The lightning when their hands touched was beautiful.
Aww.
Joe came back and had a touching scene with Iris and the baby, and the final scene was just them as a family. I've watched the last 10 minutes over and over again, especially the conversation with future Nora holding her younger self, because it felt like a proper happy ending. And when Barry was telling baby Nora his story, echoing the pilot, my heart just melted. If Barry said, "We're going to need more diapers" at the top of their last scene, it would have been icing on the cake. But alas, as a West Allen shipper and a huge fan of the show, I had higher hopes for the last few seasons. But I am content to accept the finale we got and move forward, knowing I will always have it as my comfort show. Flash has been such a constant in my life since I was 18, and I've been writing into your podcast in season 5, so it will be weird not to get new episodes, but everything good must come to an end. I'm just grateful to have found the show and your podcast when I did. Thank you again for everything. I will always be honored that you had me on. I look forward to following the podcast, whatever you do next. Wishing you only success and blessings. Signing off for the last time, yours truly, Libby. Well, you don't have to sign off for the last time, Libby, because we're not going anywhere. So
We're not going anywhere.
I'm sure we will be hearing from you again in the future. Thanks for
But
writing.
maybe not weekly.
I will say that because I know some people were asking in the chat. We're definitely not gonna be weekly for quite a while. At least if we are, like, it will be me and other people. But like even like Todd, like, this is not me like saying you know what, girl, you're fired. We're done. No. Todd and Breeze and Lazy, of course, will still be part of our journey. But it's like like if there might be episodes where we have different people on. So and I know right now we're all gonna take a little bit of a little vacation. I'll be back in June definitely for the Flash movie. We have some special guests from superhero stuff you should know about podcast that I did work with. We did an episode last week that you guys can check out on their channel. But yeah, we're not leaving it, you guys. I'm too stubborn to end this podcast, so there you go.
And I'll read one more from a brother Nate. He said, "What's up, Flash fam? Y'all know I had to check in with my Central City cousins one last time this season. I've got a podcast to record on Thursday night, so I probably won't be able to watch you live stream, but still wanted to stop by to show some love. I don't think I've emailed a DCTV podcast since season 3 of Legends, but much like that man John Wesley Shipp, I had to suit up for the finale." And just like you can hear his voice in his email. I love it. Before I get to the aforementioned finale, I wanted to give the Flash podcast and the show tonight his flowers. You know, I'm something of an expert on finale podcasts myself. I hope whoever reads this feedback read that last line in Norman Osborn voice. LOL. I'm sorry. I did not read it in the Norman Osborn voice. I failed this.
I'm something of an expert on finale podcasts myself.
There we go. Having experienced what you're going through tonight with Luke Cage, Black Lightning, and Naomi, is there a theme there? Yeah. I hope that you guys can embrace the joy in this bittersweet moment. The television program may have had its ups and downs, but Flash Podcast has always been smart and funny, and it's meant a hell of a lot to so many listeners over the past 9 years. Ladies, you are all absolutely amazing, and you are the man, Andy B. #Mandy. I'm appreciative of this podcast for being one of the shows that helped me get out of a really rough patch back in 2015, and I'll be forever grateful the show brought Annie and Toddy and so many members of my extended podcast family to my life. In the words of the prophet DJ Khaled, "You the best." Now on to the show itself. I thought the finale was pretty strong. Yes, the episode should have been 2 hours, and we were missing some key cameos. And I feel that we had too much to seal, but the moments we needed to worked. I love seeing the Legion of Zoom. Oh my God, so good. Versus Team Flash. I love my #Chulegra scenes. I love Barry and Eddie finding a balance and parting as respectful antagonists instead of bitter enemies. I loved Cat Daddy Joe West popping the question. And I loved all of the #West Allen goodness. The finale was far from perfect, but damn if it didn't stir up some good feelings and end the series on a positive note. I'm going to miss The Flash, and to a larger extent, this universe of shows. These shows did the best they could on a shoestring budget on a less than great network. Wow, the shade for over a decade. Did the story arcs always work? No. Were the wigs always terrible? Yes. But it still felt good to see some of my favorite comic book characters be realized in live action and treated with respect. For the most part, it sucks that corporate ineptitude doomed these shows to an untimely end. But I will always cherish the Arrowverse era of television. Say that 10 times fast. Arrowverse era. Man, what a time to be alive. Finally, apologies in advance to whoever had to read my damn feedback. While we've reached the end of this leg of the journey, I'm excited what's next for you guys. You all contribute to what makes this podcast great. I look forward to hearing many more years of the four of you laughing like children, living like lovers. What does that mean, Nate?
Living like
Wait a
lovers.
second.
Well, we know Toddy and Bree is obviously a ship, because
Obviously.
Wait.
Oh, is this a song? I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
living like lovers.
Living like lovers.
And rolling like thunder into the covers. The
Oh,
analogy kind of-
wow.
is
Because
that
that's why they
analogy-
call it the blues.
The analogy kind of went off the rails at the end, but I guess that's why they call it the blues, fam. I love you all as a listener and a friend. Props on a great run. Here's to the race that lies ahead. Cheers, Brother Nate.
Wait, because now that we have Toddy and Breeze on camera, hold on. It's time to give the people what they need. Look at each other knowingly, so we can give it.
Did you get enough for your gift?
Yes.
I don't like making eye contact.
But isn't it like actually we're not making eye contact because we both have to look at the camera to look at each other.
I know, it's confusing.
So
I didn't
now
know where to look.
Exactly.
Normally I'm just like,
That was hard.
yes.
Oh, thanks. All right, so now it's my turn to read The Need for Speed. Mara, hi guys, hope all is well. To be honest, I'm still in shock. I feel it hasn't hit me fully as yet. However, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy last night's episode. Obviously, the high points for me were West Allen. I can't imagine my Wednesday nights without them. Me either. They have really set up a gold standard on couples throughout entertainment. I'm a bit shocked about the serious level up Cecile got in the finale, but regardless, The Flash didn't disappoint with meetings. Didn't disappoint with the marks of action, humor, and most importantly, heart. Andy, do you recall I had a Flash shirt design in the works? I'm glad to say I completed it, and I will attach a pic at the end of this email. I hope you saw that pic, Andy, because we are not seeing it. But I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. My mom is currently in the back half of season 1 before she starts season 9. So silver lining, I have some more watching with her. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. It truly has been a fun journey with all the ups and downs throughout the series, and I look forward to content from you guys and even to where the casts end up. Run, guys, run.
Oh my god! I need to show. I need to show this picture, this T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
It's twirling towards freedom.
Yes,
for me currently.
Caitlin Snow,
Aww.
Chester Runk, Joe West, Reverse Flash, Barry Allen, Cisco Ramon, Iris West Allen, Harry Wells. Very cute. I love that. I like how Allegra did not get a shout out. But that's okay. We don't need Allegra. It's fine. Very cute. I'm very confused as to the setup of this. Are both paragraphs from Mara? Well, I'm just going to keep reading. The Flash podcast, amazing hosts and guests over the years. I started watching The Flash in my first year of college. It's been a wild ride since then, with all the good, bad, crazy, insane, boring, yelling at the screen, crying, and laughing with them. To be honest, I haven't watched the 13th episode yet, but I wanted to be part of the last episode of The Flash podcast covering the TV show starring Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, a.k.a. The Flash, which I love, is what Andy always says. So great shout out there. He will always be my Flash, like John Wesley Shipp is for others. Big love and happiness to the amazing hosts of The Flash, current and previous hosts too. I really loved hearing everyone's different opinions on the show and how it went over the years. With love from your longtime listener, Mara. Thank you.
Sorry, I think I messed up the formatting, and the other one was from Jerusha.
Oh, well, Jerusha is the one who designed the shirt, not Mara, so sorry about that. Yay, Jerusha. Okay. Is that correct, Andy? That Jerusha is the one who made the shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jerusha was the one who came on during when Lacy and I did the call-in show.
Oh, yeah, for the call-in show. That shirt's amazing. Jerusha, it's great.
Yes, it is amazing.
Would wear.
Yes, 10/10 would recommend. Okay, Electra. Hey, Flash podcast team, how are you? Here are my thoughts on the final Flash episode. First off, as someone who watched the show from day one being when the pilot was first leaked online, I need to say this series finale was severely lacking. The final story arc was rushed, the character arcs were rushed, the emotional moments were rushed. It looks like the VFX team was also rushed if that Barry Eddie race with the lightning was anything to go by. Just had to get that off my chest. But on to the rest. Eddie had a total magical girl transformation, but I'm still disappointed that Rick Cosnett only got to be Cobalt Blue for one episode. Agreed. That disappointment was compounded by the fact that Eddie and Barry worked out a peaceful existence between the Speed Force and the negative Speed Force in a way that was super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Cecile can fly now, too? Add that to the ever-growing list, I guess. I don't know why I'm so surprised by Cecile's plot powers at this point. How did Keown know who Zoom was, and how did Zoom know she was a goddess? Many good questions. Was Barry wearing the same outfit this episode that he wore in the pilot episode? I did notice that. I was confused by that, but I loved it.
It's a callback.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a callback. I loved it. That's what I loved it. I loved it. It was a callback. Why he still had those clothes, I don't know, but it was great. Why did we spend more time on Keown than on Barry and Iris? Ooh, burn. On the plus side, at least we got Caitlin back. As someone who watches Doctor Who, I was half expecting some kind of weird beast to send upon adult Nora when she was holding her baby self. Hey, look, Joe finally remembered he wasn't actually married to Cecile. Glad they brought in Avery, Max, and Jen. Looking forward to seeing Barry train them. Oh, wait, that's never going to happen. Honestly,
wow.
I think the season 8 finale would have worked better as a series finale than this. I kind of agree with that. I do feel like
Electra, I love you, but no.
The one bright light in this final season was seeing West Allen become parents. I don't have much else to say. I'll just sign off by thanking Andy and the Flash Podcast team for being a highly anticipated part of my Thursday nights for so long. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Electra.
Your emails always make me laugh, and I love that you speak my sci-fi nerd language.
Yeah. And now it's time for Lacy to read some super long emails. I'm very excited for you.
I am excited for me as well. I only had one tweet, so this seems fair. This email is from Piper, who says, "Hey, overall, the finale was what I expected. EW has had great ideas, but I've never been a fan of his execution of them. They needed 2 hours for this episode. The villains were more like cameo appearances. It made them less impactful. They just didn't seem like actual threats. I'll forever be sad that Grant had COVID and we didn't get to see his Savitar. Me too. I loved his Savitar. The battle was over
even
fast.
with the pizza face.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but in my other like library of weird ships, I was really into Killer Frost and Savitar. I thought that was just a hot thing.
Siller, Fravatar.
Fravatar. I don't know. Ship names are terrible. The battle was over fast, and again, Barry got beat up twice. Even though I get what he was trying to do with Eddie at the end, he was more powerful at the end of last season than last night. I'm glad he saved Eddie. To bring him back and kill him again would be awful. Facts. Joe and Cecile's engagement was poorly timed. Should not have been at Nora's homecoming. Don't get me started on Cecile flying during the battle. I know everybody just hates it. Allegra was cool, though, and I loved Nora turning the tables on Savitar. Loved Barry narrating at the opening and closing. I missed that. Loved the little Oliver mention, too. Baby Nora was adorable, and the birth scene was perfect. Adult Nora holding baby Nora made me laugh. Not going to miss Keown. Happy Caitlin is back. It was stupid to kill her to begin with, since they could have used a meta doctor this year with Iris being pregnant. Also facts. They really just didn't know what to do with Kate for the last 2 years. Cisco was missed. Through the highs and lows, I've loved the show, sometimes only for the cast. I'm going to miss it. Glad they got to write an ending, because the way the CW is going, it wouldn't be around next year anyway. I've enjoyed listening to you. Thanks, Piper.
Thank you, Piper.
All right. Liv, last email. Are we ready? Oh, I'm glad it's really long. Hooray. All right. Wait, I got to find the beginning of it again. There it is. All right. Liv says, y'all. Whew.
Y'all.
We made it. We made it. Barely. Let me start with the fact that overall I'll miss the show and its influence on my online experience. 9 years is a long time to be dedicated to a show, and I remember the initial hype I had around the characters, mainly Iris, who brought me into the show, and how pressed I would be to watch the episodes live, discovering the online Flash and West Allen fandoms and the reactions channels I still follow, live tweeting and debating plot lines and character choices, the excitement over behind the scenes and Comic-Con and panel content, making Twitter group chat friends. It's true, the Arrowverse is really the friends we made along the way, guys. This show and the Arrowverse has given a lot and introduced me to comic characters I didn't know before and actors that I now follow. So I'll always genuinely appreciate that. So with that said, I feel like because of my support and investment and appreciation over the years, I can still say without remorse that this finale and final season were underwhelming. Were there still pockets of content I enjoyed? Yes. Were the last 5 minutes emotional and cool fan service? Yes. Did it overall give me final run vibes? No. First of all, the fact that they rushed through this arc the way they did and brought the deadliest speedsters the show has known to be packed TF up the way they did by the B team was such a stupid decision. The show really consciously decided to level up everyone so that everyone but Barry could throw hands and win on their own. Now, look, I get the end the cycle of violence shtick, but can we not do that after Barry gets his lick back? He's the main star of the show. He's the main hero who is supposed to reach his legend level. This is his final run and his moment to finally be the fastest man alive against all the evil speedsters who clowned him before. So the B team wants their moment. Okay, let them give it a go and get taken out. So then Barry and maybe the other speedsters, if they could have gotten them, is the final hero against them. Since previously, all the other times they were defeated, he needed help. And since they could have still had Eddie absorb the other speedsters to fight, Barry. But why is it that somehow Barry is the only one that needs physical help? The whole story was just so rushed with so many details that were never pushed all the way to fruition. Didn't I say in one of my previous feedback emails that they would most likely take the easy road out with using Rick as Eddie for Cobalt Blue? LOL. So much they could have done for this over the whole season, just barely have any lead up, and then bam, 30 minutes, the minimum amount of fan service and a love talk, and that's it. And the dirt they did, Caitlin. I have never and still don't mess with that character like that, mostly out of indifference because she's had next to no growth to me. But the writers show their lack of care too by making a whole arc around Miss Nature Valley's temporary stay in Kansas Vegas.
What a name!
I know the shade, guys. That's just whew. I mean, let me just read that again for posterity. But the writers showed their lack of care too by making a whole arc around Miss Nature Valley's temporary stay in Caitlin's place, just for her to return for the last few minutes and state that the grief journey and realization of how wrong her experiments were and acceptance of what's next for her that she could have explored as her final and really only true non-Frost related arc over the season was done off screen and in her head. LOL, whatever. Glad I'm not a Caitlin stan. Here to tell you, it sucks. Just let me can confirm. And let me take a minute to express my side eye towards the clear self-insert wannabe West Allen of Chilegra medicine. That "you came back to me always" line and long ass 360 kiss was such a clear and disrespectful ass ripoff. And then the nerve to have Iris's own father pull a Felicity. And then the nerve to have Iris' own father pull a Felicity and propose to Miss Mental Mistress at Barry and Iris' party for their newborn baby.
Wow.
And I missed the podcast for last week's episode, and not sure if someone mentioned it then, but also the retconning of Iris being Eddie's fiance when she never was. That man never proposed. My girl never wore his ring. All they agreed on was getting back together after breaking up. We joked about it for the last few seasons, but it's just infuriatingly clear that there was some weird hidden pettiness against West Allen to bite their story the way they did, attempted to be covered up by the good moments we got at them. It's almost like with the show as a whole. For every great moment we get, it's paired with something disrespectful to the main characters. West Allen baby birth kiss and montage? Sure, but here's an unwanted side of mediocre no chemistry couple and tacky proposal that you didn't order. Barry speedster race? But also, here's him losing both races without Jay's help and getting his ass beat while all the B team are randomly flying and badasses. SMH, it's greedy, honestly. I'll mention it again. The last few minutes of Barry sharing his lightning to create more speedsters as an alternative to him being his own lightning bolt, narrating to Nora next to Iris and ending on him running, was probably the only part of the episode that felt final for the series as a whole. Everything else felt like a regular season finale, but an underwhelming one. It's just so bittersweet, and I have mixed feelings, and most of the good ones are over Grant, Candace, and Jesse's performances. Flash family moments and early season nostalgia. There's just also a lot of quality that I feel fans got cheated out of. There's a lot they could have easily done better, especially this season. I'll still walk away with my positives from over the years, but it's because I loved the show from the beginning that I wished and expected for more. Anyway, thank you to Grant and Candace, heavy on Candace and the BS that she went through, for giving us the best renditions of these characters individually and as a unit, and an incredible love story with this level of cultural impact. I hope to see more of y'all in the future. Y'all will always be my Barry Allen and Iris West, period. Cue flash credits music, live.
For a second, I definitely thought Liv was saying we were her Barry Allen and Iris West, and I was like, oh my god, we are the Flash. Yes.
Well,
But then I
that's what they said.
We are the Flash.
Wait, there's one more email. There's one more email. I was gonna say, Andy, you should read it, so we all read one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, I can do that. From Mads, we got your email. Well, guys, we did it. We made it to the end. Hard to believe it's really over. And honestly, I don't even think Cecile could help me figure out how I feel about it. Let me read that one more time. Hard to believe it's really over. And honestly, I don't even think Cecile could help me figure out how I feel about it. I have very mixed feelings about it all. The show, the ending, and the future. One thing I know for sure is Grant Gustin is my Flash. Candice Patton is my Iris. Amen. I'm thankful for all the work they put in over the last 9 years, bringing these characters to life and making West Island the true gold standard ship. I may be biased, but I truly don't believe they can be topped. Agreed. Now for my thoughts. I have a lot of nitpicky thoughts about the finale, but I'm going to try to keep the negativity to a minimum. The evil speedster team up was such a cool idea. I just wish we saw more of it. It went by so quickly that I honestly kind of forgot that it happened by the end of the episode. Allegra, Keon, and Cecile all being able to take down the speedster on their own was a choice. Zoom was out here breaking Barry's back and dropping CCPD officers like flies in season 2. But now Keon takes him down with one move. Sure, I guess. Speaking of Keon, I still understand why we had to go through this whole story just to bring Caitlin back at the end, but I suppose I didn't hate the transition as much as I thought I would. As for Allegra, oh boy, here we go. My ears must be deceiving me because I know Eric didn't just get him a West Island line bar for bar, right? It is Walmart versus Chanel, Eric. Also pretty sure that one kiss lasted longer than all of the West Island kisses from the last 4 seasons combined. On the bright side, I really do think they finally called back to Chester's black hole power. I just wish it wasn't when the show was ending. Brandon is a great actor, and I think unfortunately Chester was one of the more underused characters during his run of the show. Now Cecile. First of all, how did she get her 2049 suit back to 2023? Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That's ridiculous. Second, she can fly? I love that we've had so many people going, she can fly? And here obviously when she was, by the way, just so everyone knows, when she was flying, she was using her telepathy power. And so, she's not actually able to fly. And the Jaceel proposal was kind of cute. I just think it could have been done literally anywhere else. Joe hijacked his own speech at Barry and Iris' rehearsal dinner to talk about the seal, and now he hired Nora's homecoming party. Homecoming party, there we go. We should have said it that. To propose to her. Create your own moments, Joseph. But also, him calling her the best mother Jenna could have. What was the narrative? A dead mother? Wow. Mads. I'm proud of you. My last nitpick. I know we couldn't get Carl Gugino for the finale, but it would have been nice to at least get a mention of them. Agreed. There were definitely a lot of things that I wish for a certain that didn't happen, but the one thing that did was I'm getting to a happy ending. The birthing was beautifully done. You couldn't even tell that baby apparently peed on Candace. But dear God, let's set up some prayers for Iris because that was one big ass baby she had to birth. Yeah. What was it Toddy said? Canal? That, Oh, Toddy. Although I would have loved to see more of Iris, and I would really love to have seen her actually winning the polls that she was only nominated for a week ago. I'm very happy with where she ended up. She got her baby, her husband, and a booming career. My girl is ending the series happy and healthy, and that's all I ever wanted. And Barry, quote, ... Although I haven't loved how the show treated him, particularly as the Flash in recent seasons, I'm happy where he ends the series. I love the idea of him choosing new people to become speedsters. I know that some people want the series to end with Barry coming in line able to strike him. I almost felt this was a bit of a play on that idea. And the best part is that he didn't have to die to do it this way. I agree. I also really love all the comments season 1 with his pilot intro at the beginning, him telling Baby in order to believe in the impossible, and the classic voice of it to close out the show. Although I wish he had said one last time, I am the Flash, but it's okay. Overall, despite the flaws in the finale, I thought it was good. The Cabal Blue storyline was unfortunately rushed, but I think the alternative would have been an even more rushed conclusion to all the character stories. This was the better choice. Surprisingly, I didn't shed any actual tears in the episode, although they certainly tried to fall. I think it was because my emotion was so mixed and I was taking it all in. But I certainly did find myself shedding some while writing this review. It's been a long journey. I've been following the show since season 2, and although I only started emailing in this season, I've been listening to the podcast for quite some time. So thank you to Flash Podcast, Andy, Tatiana, Breeze, Lazy, and all the others who have joined along the way. Thank you for the space you've created to talk about the show. Cecile complains and all. It's been a great run. Pun fully intended. Until next communion, Mads.
Aw, until next communion.
Next communion, whatever that means. What does that mean?
Communion is like when you take the.
It's church.
Lacy,
right?
weigh in,
Yeah.
please.
I know. It's like it's church.
It is church, but
Um,
like, isn't it like the part where you take the body of Christ? So if you take the little wafer and drink the wine.
And what you do or get depends on your denomination.
Yes, it was an HR quote. See, so we all failed this.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, I forgot almost everything involving
Everyone
any
knows
Wells that
except
was
for
not
us.
Harry. Harry is
Yeah.
the one true Wells. I'm sorry.
Exactly. I was feeling.
Excuse yourself, Sherlock was clearly the best Wells.
Y'all,
Not
who got a mention in the finale? Nash.
I was opening my mouth to say that, and I was just like, that dirtbag. Like, and then
Cannot
I
get
got
rid
all
of that
mad.
man.
I got all mad again because I had such high hopes for him, and he turned out to be like a creepy ass stalker. And
HR is still my fave Wells because he did sacrifice his life.
no,
for
I'm a
us.
Harry girl
So.
through and through. Come on,
Oh
Harry
my
Wells,
God.
the Wells.
Do we need to do an episode like who was the best Wells? And
No,
obviously,
because it was Harry.
Yeah, right. It's
This
just
is
no.
not a question. The answer
Exactly.
is Harry.
It's clearly Harry.
okay, yeah,
All
it's
right.
Harry. Okay, so Chad, I know. Can we just read a few quick comments before we go?
I have to go now. It's past midnight. I have
Okay.
to go.
Okay. So we I will let the girls say something to you guys before they go, and I can read some comments. So I'm gonna start in the order that each host joins. So Tatiana, again, the show's not ending. We're not ending the podcast. But is there anything you want to, is there anything you want to say to listeners
So
that are
long.
watching?
Thanks for all the fish. Thank
Really?
you, Lacy. Lacy got it. Thank you guys so much. You guys have, it's been so much fun to read your comments over the seasons, especially in the recent ones. I feel like you guys should be hosting a podcast for me to listen to because your memories are much better than mine, and I have the attention span of a goldfish. So thank you guys for always educating me in the world of the Flash and DC comics. Oh, Mads also got it, and that's what we love to hear. The feedback deadline, Daryl, is anytime now, but
Yeah, well, if you
we
have
record
any,
on Thursdays.
if you have any thoughts, Daryl, you can leave in the comment and I will read them now. So,
But yes, you guys have made The Flash a more enjoyable experience, especially in recent seasons when we may have, lost some of our heart, but we found it in this community, or as HR would say, communion. Thank you all, and good night.
and you can where can they find you, Toddy?
You can find me at Marcella's Ear on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you go to Screen Rant, like maybe 1 out of every 10 articles will be something that I either edited or wrote. So there you go.
And Toddy, of course, because here's what we'll do. After you say your each goodbye, you can leave and go to bed or whatever, so on. But I just
thank
want to
you.
say, I will say, it's a series finale, Breeze. Come on, Toddy. All I will say, I mean, you've been here the longest outside of myself, and the show is again. I found Toddy through the show. She was a listener, and then she became one of the greatest hosts. She became one of the greatest hosts that has ever walked on this podcast, and I am so blessed. I am so blessed that I found you, that we got to have this friendship again. You're basically like a big sister to me, a very young big sister. Don't worry.
I was gonna
don't worry.
say, wait, well, let's not out my age.
Yeah, we're actually the same age. We're both 29, so we're both turning 30 years old this year. But Toddy, again, because you've been one of the most respected people in the whole Flash fandom, so the fact that I got to make you part of this podcast is one of my biggest honors. And we're gonna have so much fun talking about K-dramas and K-drama movies.
I mean, K entertainment. I think we can say. I think it's okay to say Korean movies and dramas.
Okay, fair enough. But Toddy, thank you for your service. Again, no one is leaving the podcast. We're not ending the podcast. Just making sure everyone knows. But God bless for your existence.
Oh, thank you, and you as well. May the force be with you all, the Speed Force and all other forces.
Well, good night, Tatiana.
Bye.
Bye.
Breeze, Jenna, Riley.
This feels like we're in The Sound of Music and we're doing the song where we sing goodbye and we all like and then go away.
So long.
Oh my god. Okay, whatever.
Okay, we'll watch musicals as well together. Breeze, is there anything you want to say to the listening audience, whether they're watching right now or at a later time?
Yeah, just thanks so much to everyone who listens to our podcasts. I started as a listener of this podcast as well, way back when I was watching The Flash season 1 and literally no one I knew was. So I sought out this podcast and it gave me a community. And I know how important the podcasts I listen to now are to me. So if we can be that for even just one person, that's amazing. And I'm so grateful that we're able to, give people a space to enjoy the show, and you all give back tenfold what we give to you through your listener feedback and participation and listen. So thank you so much.
And Breeze, again, I didn't even know you were listening until you came into the Marvel Report. So the fact that that I felt like this was always meant to be. I felt it was always meant to be that you would become of this. Again, I've said this to people many, many times, but Breeze was literally one of the beating hearts of the Marvel Report. So the fact that when the opportunity arose to me bringing another host, I'm like, you know what? I think it's time that we bring in Breeze right into the DCT podcast family. So, I feel like you're more of Jenna's mother than Cecile is. So I'm glad you care more for her than Cecile does, because Cecile is horrible as a mother. No, your service, of course, has been also, of course, greatly appreciated. I cannot wait to see what we will all talk about after this season. But thank you for taking yourself from a listener into becoming one of the greatest hosts of this podcast as well. And where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find my bylines and me tweeting about the Barbie movie for the next 2 months at Breeze Riley on Twitter. Thanks, everyone.
Good night, Breeze.
Good night.
Oh, Lacy,
Hello.
anything you want to say to the fans to listening right now?
I will just say thank you. This has been a gift and a joy. The show has not always been what I wanted it to be. It has not always lived up to what I knew that it could be. But this show and this Arrowverse and all of you and the people on this podcast have truly changed my life personally and professionally. Like, I consider everybody here some of my best friends. I've gotten to do amazing things because I started watching this show and meet amazing people. And it has been an incredible ride. And I don't even really think that it's hit me yet that it's over, but I'm going to miss being part of this community and this everything about all of this. You guys are amazing. And I can't believe that you want to spend all this time with us every week. And please keep doing it, because we're not going anywhere. And I will, as I usually do, use Doctor Who to sum up my feelings, and I had to look it up because I wanted to make sure that I got it right.
This is a quote.
It's from Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, and he's talking about, it doesn't matter. It's the way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa, the bad things don't always spoil the good things or make them unimportant. And we definitely added to the pile of good things with this show, I think. And I am proud of it, and I'm honored that I was part of it. And mwah, thank all of you. And justice for Caitlin Snow.
And for you, I will say this is that even though we love the show, in a way, maybe thank God that Krypton was canceled, so this opportunity could presented itself.
R.I.P. Krypton.
R.I.P. Krypton. Hashtag Segal and Adam Strange should have been together.
Would read that fanfic as well.
That fanfic as well. And Nissa was queen, absolute queen, and then she was Batwoman.
I know, small world in the land of DC.
Yeah, but I again, like, because it's been I think you completed a podcast. You and Breeze completed a podcast in a way that I never realized until we got into season 6, and I couldn't be just with Toddy and Breeze. I'm honored that you decided to be part of this journey. Again, from the many times that we've passionately agree with each other to the many times we passionately disagree with each other. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm excited for all the Star Trek we're gonna be watching together.
I got my Strange New World screeners today.
You hold the whole season?
For 6.
Oh, well, that's still pretty generous.
No, Paramount is great. We love you, Paramount. Do not bite me. Baker's.
Oh, you're talking to the cat. You're talking to the cat. Paramount. Like, I love you, Paramount, but don't bite me.
No, Paramount could bite me if they give me more. If they give me more Star Trek, they can do whatever they want.
But thank you also for your service throughout these seasons, and I'm excited for what's next for all of us. So and yeah, just for Caitlin Snow, indeed. And where can we find you on social media?
I am at Lacy MB on virtually every social account you can think of.
And future apps coming.
And future apps coming. I tend to squat my name just in case that's the one that we figure out can handle our exodus from Twitter. So I will be there, whatever it is. But listen to my other podcast. It's at Televisions. Follow me on social media. I'm always yelling about something. Check out my interview with Tom Cavanaugh at Den of Geek and all of my Star Trek coverage that is forthcoming this summer. And thanks again, everybody. I love you all. Mwah!
Good night, Lacy. Until next one. And then it was me. And maybe it's fitting. Maybe it's fitting that I'm the one kind of closing out the serotonin discussion of the Flash. It started with me, and so maybe it should end with me too. And again, like, it sounds like we're saying goodbye, but we're not. Like, I promise you guys that we're not gonna somehow, like, suddenly after this episode, like, go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, LOL, JK, we're actually ending the podcast." And I'm too stubborn to end the Flash podcast. So, but let's do some live listener feedback. Daryl, I'm gonna look for your email. I'm looking in the DC podcast. I'm looking at the Flash podcast email. I don't see. Daryl, I don't see an email from you. Tell me which one you send it to. Otherwise, just post your comment in the chat and I will read it here. So, let's just show some love for everyone. Well said, Breeze from Lee B. That quote is so perfect for the Doctor Who. B says, "Thank you, everything Flash Podcast crew." Ollie says, "Thank you, Toddy. Lacy. Thank you, Toddy. Thank you, Breeze. Thank you, Lacy, and a great big thank you, Andy." Oh, the great big thank you should go to just as much as the lady as it goes to me. Mina Gap says, "The Arrowverse wig makes place the last wig on the shelf takes one last look, turns around, turns off the light, and closes the door." Oh my god, that would be iconic. That would have actually been iconic. Good lord. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? Sky says, "Thank you for everything. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you all so much." Sky, you're so appreciated. I'm so glad we could do some spaces this past week, and we will do some more Twitter spaces. I feel like we're not done We're not done yet. Let's see. Sky says, overall, the episode felt rushed, but at least they gave us beautiful West Island scenes. So happy they got their happy ending, and they will be my gold standard forever. Hashtag West Island forever. Agreed. Um. Let's see. Libby says Joe made his rehearsal dinner speech about Cecile too. Um. But Nora had crashed Jenna's welcoming home. Well, she just came. She just came to deliver flowers. I remember. Liz says, "Element, you all are my podcast." Oh, thank you. Holly says, "Wake me up when the Flash, quote unquote, Batman comes out." Wow, that's so true. Monica says, "I can say Grant Gustin was the best Flash." Oh wow, dude, Rachel, wow. Insert Grant and Oliver's tombstone meme here. Liv says, SMAH is shaking my head. West Island can't get nothing to themselves for real. Yep. Let's see what else are people saying. Maz goes, we got an Oliver episode and an Oliver mentioned finale, but we couldn't get either for Cisco. Yeah. It's weird. I'm hoping there at least is a deleted scene where they mention Cisco somehow. Because I don't. It just would seem really weird to me if they didn't. Lev goes, in hindsight, I didn't include enough of positives. I followed the episode because I was rushing to get the email in time. LOL. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I had a lot of fun. LOL. But no, it's fine. Here's me, guys. I want to make this perfectly clear. Over the last 9 seasons, I've always wanted to make sure that this is a community where we can have all of our opinions read and heard of, and whether you're positive or negative. Like it's like again, this is not just supposed to be a cheerleader podcast for the show. We're supposed to be able to talk about how we feel about the show in its entirety. So positive comments, negative comment. The only thing the kind of comments that we've kind of shut out is when people are attacking actors on the show, people who write for the show or whatever and so on. Again, I know people don't always necessarily agree with Eric Wallace. I totally get that. But if you can address your criticism constructively, we will always make sure to read your thoughts. That's perfectly fine. So don't feel like you have to apologize that you didn't include enough positive or negative and so on. Like however you feel about the show is how you feel about the show. As long as you do, respectfully in a healthy manner, then we will have a conversation. Absolutely. Let's see what else you guys have been saying. And by thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. Like there's been so many of you here tonight, and hopefully, I haven't talked to the girls yet, but hopefully, when we keep doing the Flash podcast after this, we will keep doing live shows. So there you go. Envir says, shame COVID happened and stopped it from season 7 and 8. Yeah, indeed. Mads goes, Nora did technically crash Jenna's homecoming. That's when she showed up saying who she was. Oh, yeah, you mean the one in that in season 4. Okay, never mind. I thought you were talking about the other time. My bad. Mads goes, my only regret is not getting more involved in the fandom because I really got no one to talk to about the show. Well, I know that feeling, and we've had a lot of people over the years say that, and this is why I love this community, that we can come together, no matter where we are in the world, we can come together to talk about the Flash as a community, whether it's over tweets, emails, or what have you. But let's see. I'm gonna scroll and read a few more, and then we're gonna try and wrap it. This is probably the longest episode of Flash we've ever done, by the way, guys. But for you guys, it's totally worth it. Let's see. Yeah, it's Mind the Guy. I agree. Superhero Stuff You Should Know podcast has good videos. Yeah, I was able to do. I was invited to do a deep dive into the big script that Greg Berlanti wrote with Mark Guggenheim and Michael Green for the Flash movie a couple years ago, with a lot of ideas from that movie script making it into the TV show. So there's that. Let's see. You guys are its radio says in the Flash, in different universes and multiverse, these integrated flashes become beacons of hope, spreading their speed and courage across the countless worlds, inspiring a new era of heroism. That's deep. I love that. My name is, if there was one more season, most of the annoyance of this season would not be in a final season. Yeah, it's I can kind of see that. Let's see. Oh wait, is Radio said what can Chat GPT says about a fiction finale of the Flash? In the highlights of the series of the Flash, the Scarlet Speed of Barry Allen finds himself faced with an impossible decision that will shape the fate of the entire multiverse. Determined to protect his loved ones and ensure a brighter future, Barry taps into his limitless power of the Speed Force and embarks on a daring mission to rewrite the timeline. As he races through the fabric of reality, his connection to Speed Force deepens, and he splits himself into multiple versions of the Flash in different universes and multiverse. These integrated Flashes become a beacons of hope, spreading their speed and courage across the countless worlds, inspiring a new era of heroism. Damn, ChatGPT not be kidding. Let's see. My guy says it does suck. If this was the penultimate season finale instead of the series finale, the last season would have been interesting. Yeah. No, I get it. Max goes, was Kramer not at the party because it was too heartbreaking for her to see Joe getting engaged to Cecile? You know what? I will take it. Rachel says, I have an idea for another fanfic involving Brainy and Nora. I would love to hear it. Yeah, there. I just checked the Flash Podcast email. I don't see it. I don't see, like, Matt was the last email we got. So, but if you're still in the chat, let us know what you find before I wrap this up. And yeah, we read through some of these already. So, oh, thank you, New Rachel. Thank you, Flash Podcast Group. Thank you. Before we go, I'm gonna say a few words to you guys. I know I got a little emotional over Twitter, and I posted kind of like a big statement. But I kind of wanted to offer you guys something that are watching live right now. This podcast, I never knew that this podcast would become what it is. I never knew that we would be reaching hundreds of thousands of listeners for 10 years. This is the part, like, this was supposed to be a passion project, and which it ultimately was. But the fact that this became like an entertainment outlet for me. This became a way for me to connect more with the show and really reach out, and really get a reach with the fandom. The fact that so many people always want to hear from us and come to us for source of information and all that is just a huge honor. It really is, you guys. And for me, that's one of the biggest honors of my life. So, whatever I go on to cover in terms of other TV shows, other movies, other properties and whatnot, it will never be the way it was covering The Flash. And you guys are a huge reason for that. So, again, for every download, every retweet, every share, every follow, every comment, every listener feedback, every positive iTunes review and everything, we would not be where we are today if it hadn't been for you. That's why we are able to have done some amazing interviews this season, which it's been a huge honor. It's Javisha Leslie, Richard Harmon, and Mientes, Brandon McKnight, Kayla Compton, Daniel Panabaker, Teddy Sears, Rick Cosnett, Eric Wallace. It's been a huge honor to be able to do this type of extensive coverage for you guys. And I don't remember who the listener was, but I remember someone had emailed in several years ago saying that this was more than just a podcast, which this has always been my mission, that I want this to be more than just a podcast, and you guys have been able to make it happen. So it's been my honor and my privilege to contribute to any of your Flash experience in any way possible. It's I didn't think this is what the journey was gonna go. I was just some 20-year-old dude living in his parents' house and still figuring out his life and aspiring to be a podcaster and cover a big TV show. And then this has now become part of my legacy. This is now, like, again, like, when I used to go to conventions, I loved when people would stop me and be like, "Oh my god, you're the Flash podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah." I truly truly loved that. And like, again, it's like, it's so weird that, like, people be like, when people sometimes connect real things in life, um when people connect in real life, that, "Oh my god, you're him," or "You're one of the people who does the Flash podcast." Um it's it warms my heart. And it warms my heart that, if anyone from the show, from the Flash, is watching, it's Grant, if you're watching, if Candace is watching, anything like that. Um i um thank you for everything. Thank you for everyone on the show that has always found their way, that has always supported the show in one way or the other. Whether it be retweets, whether it be from, you guys, shout, giving the podcast a shout out, or just following us on social media and so on. And it's just, now I'm getting a little emotional, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up. But it's just, again, you gave the little guy a chance to shine, and find a community of people, find some of the greatest friends that will be with me till the day I die. Like Toddy, Breeze, and Lazy, they're my sisters, they're my extended family. And I cannot wait to continue this podcast. And whatever, again, the podcast may still be called the Flash Podcast. It still be called the Flash Podcast, obviously. And we will find ways to keep talking about the DC universe and the Flash or whatever, so on. But I'm excited for what other journeys we can go on together, and I'm hoping you guys will be there with us. Still download the episode, the podcast, comment, and tune in live and whatnot. But either way, thank you again, because of this. I said this on Twitter, that, but I was supposed to be destined to not have a functional life because of my autism, according to this one doctor, whose words follow me for the rest of my life. You know, he didn't believe in the impossible, so I had to do it for him and for myself, of course, most importantly. And thank you for everything you've done. You guys have all done. If you're a listener, if you're someone who works on the show, thank you for everything. Because now it's like, I was all, like I said, I've always wanted to contribute to the Flash fan experience, but the fact that I was able to do it on the big reach that I was able to do it at with my team, I mean, these are stories I'm going to tell for the rest of my life now. Like this, whether it is being, greeted by Grant Gustin himself, knowing who we are, appreciating the podcast, or to, the thousands of listeners that we have tuning in every week. It's it's again, like, if I have grandchildren, if I have children at all, I'm not planning on having any, but if I ever do, these are stories I'm going to be telling them. The Hot Pocket is an important chapter of my life, and while we're ending one era of the podcast, it will never be forgotten. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all so much, is all I can say. And like I said, we're gonna take a few weeks off now. You might see some updates on the podcast feed. I might release some of the other interviews that we didn't put out throughout the season. There's some of the ones that were just text versions and so on. But we'll be back with the Flash movie. Me and the great guys over at Andrew and Ben from Superhero Stuff You Should Know About podcast. They will be joining me for the Flash movie review in June. And yeah, but thank you everyone. Thank you for everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you for all your feedback about the series finale. I hope the show was able to give you a conclusion in any way possible. No matter how ridiculous it was seeing Cecile fly. Trust me, I agree. It was stupid. I don't like, but you know what? we're free of Cecile. She can never tell us how we feel ever again. So we're actually free. And you can find me at social media at Annuback, all on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Eero, TikTok. I write for Screen Rant. I'm the editor-in-chief of Multiverse of Color, which is kind of going to be one of my next big focuses. Like, again, because the DCTV podcast, the DCTV podcast network is part of Multiverse of Color. It's now like that's kind of like the next entry now. So please check out Multiverse of Color for some of our great coverage from not just DC stuff, but Marvel and other great properties, indie properties, you name it. I'm excited to be able to dive a little bit more into that. So I hope you will be there with us. And you can also check me out on Endless Multiverse on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Chainsaw Reacts channel. Who great, thank you. And by the way, I need to say this before I wrap up. I want to give a special shout out to our amazing guests from this season: Craig Byrne, Keenan Walker, Kimberly Spivey, Vanessa Shark, Chainsaw Reacts, Rebecca Johnson, Morgan Glennon, May Abdul Baki. I hope I said your last name correctly. Nate Milton and Jocelyn. Thank you so much for, again, we had this brave and the bold kind of system this season. Because I wanted to hear more perspectives about the Flash from some great super friends of ours. So, and of course, to everyone watching, thank you for having tuned in all season. It means the world. And yeah, I'm excited. The fun thing about the next chapter is that I don't even know a lot what we're gonna do next with the Flash podcast. But that's the exciting part, getting to discover it together. And and again, I know for a lot of you guys, this is probably maybe the last time you listen to us. I know some people they just want to hear us talk about the Flash, which is perfectly fine. But I hope for our long-time listeners and viewers, and Libby, thank you also for joining us. That was amazing to have you on for that special edition episode. But yeah, I know a lot of people are probably, this is probably their end point with us. So thank you for everything you for all the years listening, but for all you listeners who will still listen to us. And I hope that's gonna be many of you. I look forward to seeing you next, whether it be in live chats or in emails or in social media comments. But yeah, it's again an honor and a privilege. But with that said, I'm going to play the plugs clip and then we're going to close out. So here's where you can find the Flash Podcast at.
To find exclusive content and new episodes from the Flash Podcast, visit theflashpodcast.com. There you'll also find the latest info about the Flash TV show, movie, and comics.
TFP never strays far, so please find the Flash Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you should ever need us. And we need you to send us listener feedback on any of those platforms after each episode of The Flash. You can send your feels sporadically or wait for the graphic that appears every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, begging you to leave us your comments so we know you love us. XOXO, Gossip Flash.
Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to the Flash Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to your podcasts. Want to support the Flash Podcast? Leave a review and 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, which helps more Apple Podcast users find the show.
Enjoy what we're doing? Then you should check out the entire DCTV Podcast network at dctvpodcast.com, where we have amazing shows for The Flash, Superman Lois, all of the ongoing and upcoming DC shows on HBO Max, the upcoming DC Studios movies, The Sandman, as well as DCTV After Dark and lots of other fantastic podcasts, all available at dctvpodcast.com. You can follow the network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram simply at DCTV Podcast. Last but not least, be sure to subscribe to the network's mega feed on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere else you listen to podcasts.
DCTV Podcast has its own TeePublic store where you can get all sorts of fabulous Arrowverse and DCTV merchandise to broadcast your fandom in the real world. Click on the link in the show notes to start shopping and help support the network so we can keep making all these great shows. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/DCTV Podcasts and ring the notification bell for up-to-the-minute news about live broadcasts, exclusive interviews, special clips, and lots more.
And because we can never get enough of your beautiful words, you can also email the Flash Podcast at theflashpodcast@gmail.com anytime you want. Use it for longer listener feedback, questions about The Flash and DCTV, miscellaneous thoughts, or fanfic recommendations. We read every email, so don't worry, no Flash fan left behind.
I was just reading a little bit of the comments. Annie, your passion project has been an outlet for me to come together with others that love the show. Thank you for sharing with us. You're all amazing. Thank you. Libby, thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Sky. Thank you, everyone. Really, seriously. And I just realized we have to update those that outro at the end. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 330 of the Flash Podcast. Thank you once again for everything. I don't know when all four of us are going to be back together, but we're definitely still coming back. So thank you all so much. Go check out all of our interviews. Teddy Sears and Rich Cosnes is now live on the YouTube channel and on Apple Podcast. Go check them out. Support us. I'm not giving up. We're still trying for Grand and Candace. So, cross your fingers, maybe sometime later this year. But once again, we've officially hit the 3-hour mark. So enjoy, if anyone watching this, enjoy this double-sized episode of the Flash Podcast. Thank you all so much. On behalf of Tatiana, Breeze, and Lacy, I'm Andy Bebacht, and we will see you next time on the Flash Podcast. And may the Speed Force be with you.